What up, fam? There you are. What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come talk some Eagles with us. Success or not a success? Let's go. Let's go. This ain't the fuck like oh, this game he stinks.
Oh shit!
It's cold.
Folks, Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Monday morning quarterback only on A2D Radio. Every Monday, we are brought to you by FanUp, and FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value. FanUp right on the Apple Store. Go download it. Go enjoy it. Come dabble with me, right? Come challenge me. You can challenge anybody that has the app. You can create groups. There's so many things you can do with it that I'm not even into. Yeah, I'm not even as deep as you can get into it in the gambling world, the point system. So go download FanUp, and you're going to thank me later because they pay out immediately. It's great. It's great. So go do it. We got Jimmy on from Flight Zone with us tonight. No Flight Zone later on. They had to cancel because Evan, we'll just keep blaming Evan for everything that goes wrong just for funsies. But we got Jimmy, Ryan like usual. I'm Tom, the family. Let's talk about it. At the end of the show, we do our A2D member wheel, giving you away jerseys. All right, a little bit of Jalen Hurts for you. Have a little Jalen Hurts today for A2D members. We'll do that at the end of the show. You want to become a member? $9.99 a month gets you not only on the jersey wheel giveaway, but Steve does giveaways every Saturday night. And you get gambling picks from Nate Moss and Willie Vegas on the weekend. So well worth your money. And their boys are hitting. Wilson, I never want to give him credit, but he hits. He hits. Never want to give the guy credit. Can't make it on a Sunday show. Got a lot going on, right? Busy guy. So, for him to take the time out is well worth $9.99 a month for everybody. NFL winners and losers. We do it every Monday. We'll go through the slate of games and we'll give you a few and we'll dabble in it. And obviously we want yours. Eagles playoff picture, how they can get in next week. And really, if you want to get in week 18, they control their own destiny. So Eagles playoff picture essentially is you control your own destiny. You control it. It's not up to anybody else. And I love that. I love that because now expectations have changed, people. Now they've changed. Once you control it, expectations have changed. Once you want to go win 4 in a row, I don't care who you beat, right? I don't care. It's the NFL. Granted, it's been an XFL type schedule the last few weeks, but it's still the NFL, still National Football League, and guys are getting paid. Guys are getting paid to be pros and the best of the best. So you still got to go win football games. But we'll talk about their playoff picture on what they can do week 17 to clinch, and then obviously, how things would work out if they go 1-1. If they go 0-2, they should just, get rid of the franchise. It's just time to sell it if you go 0-2 in these next 2 games. No Sanders or Howard for a little bit. We know now Miles wasn't put on IR because of the hand, but he's definitely gonna miss some time. Guy fumbles enough already, and now we got a hand issue. Oh, just put him on IR. First off, I don't want to be the one that said it, but we started pounding our football when Miles wasn't here for some reason. And I think Miles is better than the other guys, talent-wise, but we ran the football great for that little stretch when he was missing. Let's not run away from that. So the bigger question, you can't miss both of them. And really, you don't want to be without Miles Sanders. I get it. I'm just having some fun and poking bears. But you don't want to be without either one of them. Now, let's hope the Jordan Howard stinger isn't a 14-week stinger. We can't have that. Like, goes into next year, he's still missing time. But they said the MRI on it looks good. Looks good. So it doesn't look like to be the same type of neck issue that he had before. So that's a positive on Jordan Howard. Still don't believe he plays this week. I think they're going to try to get through with Kenny in Boston. And guess what? With an offense line, the Moss, they'll be fine. But we'll talk about the impact of those two guys moving forward and what this football team has to do without them. Eagles, Week 16 reactions is the main topic at hand. We'll go back. We'll talk about it, and then we'll give you some early predictions heading into next week on how we feel because, I don't know. I mean, is anybody a little sweaty? Anybody need a little deodorant for next week? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it because next week's that weird one. That's that weird one where everybody's going to start saying, we got to roll them. We go and roll them. And then next thing you know, you're like, who is this Washington team? Because they didn't play like this on Sunday night, right? Could easily see that. But we'll talk about next week after we get into what happened this week, because this was a big win. I don't care how you do it. And it's a big win, and it ties into our poll question brought to you by Manscaped. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Weed whacker, lawnmower, what don't they have? Ball deodorant. Go check them out. Use promo code A2D and get that 20% off and free shipping. Our poll for tonight's show: this Eagles season is a success if they reach the playoffs. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Make sure you download, right? We were just looking up numbers. We can't believe how many downloads we've been having. It's unreal. Keep hitting the fucking download wherever you're at. Tell a friend to tell a motherfucking friend to download, like, subscribe. And everybody, thank you on YouTube. 7K. We can't thank you enough. Giddy up. Now let's make it 10. Here we are. The road to 10, baby. We really would like to put a few more zeros past the 10, but let's just start with 10. Let's get to that zero. Let's add that zero on. So keep helping us, all right? Because you're helping yourselves at the end of the day. Because you're getting smarter. That's what happens. You sit down with us, you get a little smarter. You leave the conversation like you left class. Like, look, I feel smart. Them guys were saying the same thing I was thinking. Now I'm smarter. To the poll. I mean, yes, it is. I mean, there's two ways you can look at it. Like, it is if they reach the playoffs, but then if you reach the playoffs and you get your doors blown off, is it really a success? I don't know. Like we were talking about before, if you lose to the Cowboys, right? If you get blown out by say you play the Cowboys week one of the playoffs, all right, round one. Sorry, if you play the Cowboys round one and you get your doors blown off, we run around successful. We talk about expectations changing. To get it, let's get in first, and then we can talk about success, right? Like, what was the season's success? It's like it's almost hard because the season's not done yet, in a way, because like it can change and it can be really unsuccessful real fast. But hypothetically, I think we all believe that this team is going to get into the playoffs, right? So that being said, yes, it is a successful season because the national media had this team winning 4 games, other people had them winning 5 games. So anybody along the lines of that, it automatically becomes a successful season. You talk about a rookie head coach, a first-year starter at quarterback. I mean, you get into the dance, that's successful. I don't think anybody out there can say that's not successful. But the only way it becomes a disagree is if you get your doors blown off. You understand what I'm saying to you guys? That's not successful because expectations change. So if we get into the dance, right, we're getting in there with an identity, and we built something on a way that how we want to dictate terms to people. So if we get in the dance and we're down 17-0, we get our doors blown off, and we're never in a football game, is that successful? No, because then that tells us we didn't even belong there. We didn't belong there. What makes success for a team like this is you're not only getting there, right, but then you still got to play that game. Season's not over. So to make that game look like or feel like a success, one would be winning it, obviously. The other one for a team young like this in a lot of key places, especially a head coach, right, is competing in that football game. Mm-hmm. Competing in that football game because you're going to go Rams, you're going to go Cowboys, whatever. You're going to go one of the big boys up there, right? You got like 3 or 4 teams to choose from, and we all know who they are. They're all big boy teams. Okay, so Tampa, right? So you're going to go to their building. Can you compete? Because nobody's expecting you to go there and win, but can you compete? And that will dictate success or not. So right now, I'm almost in like the middle of an agree or disagree, even though I'm leaning, obviously, you lean towards agree because of where they were supposed to finish and where they are now. So family out there, let us know. Chime in. Tell us what you're thinking. And I find it hard to find people that will say disagree to getting into the dance.
So we always talk about like happy meter. So like your success meter is at like a 5. You know what I'm saying? Like you're right in the middle. It all depends on where we're at over obviously the next 2 weeks and what that I'll just call it potential playoff game would look like in 3 weeks. Correct?
Well, no, I'm not in the middle of where success is if they get in, right? Like if they get in, their success is they had a successful year. But if they that would be more like it's unfinished, it's unknown because the season's not over yet. So it's like, you get blown out. It's a conversation that we can have that we'll dive into after that, right? Right? Like, okay, was this year a success? And then we'll talk about the things that are successful, and then we'll talk about getting our doors blown off by 48, right? And looking like Washington last night, and then we'll really quickly say how successful was it? So it all depends, right? It all depends about competing and feeling like you belong in the playoffs, right? On how we're going to judge it.
Yeah, that makes sense. As far as the poll, I mean, you could make an argument that based off of, again, and this is before we talk about like how expectations do change throughout a season, not even in a season where it's literally been a roller coaster of we were ready to like sell the team after week 7 and now we're here talking playoffs. It's crazy how things change so quickly. If you're going by just before the year, and I know, Tom, you had 10 wins, I had 9. Jimmy, how many wins did you project them to have? Just wondering.
I had 10.
Okay. So all 3 of us had us being in the playoff conversation.
Yeah.
But just based off of where I would say the national media and some of the local media had it, I actually did this last night. I averaged based off of all like the preseason polls on the projected win totals. The average projected win totals for the Philadelphia Eagles was 5.5. And that's not even counting Vegas, which I think, what was it, 6.5, Tom, the over-under?
6.5.
So if you're just going based off of that, it blows it out of the water. So you could say, oh, well, the fact that we're even in the conversation for playoffs or even in the conversation of, meaningful December football, which we begged for last year. We didn't even get it. I don't even know if we got meaningful November football, to be honest. You could say, yeah, this is absolute success because we got something that we've been wanting, especially in a rebuilding year. But you have to get into the dash for this to be a success, in my opinion. Would I be like satisfied coming out of it? Like, oh, okay, we learned a lot of things about the team, the quarterback, the coach, meaningful football, all that. If we are in the conversation but don't get in, yeah, I would be satisfied with it given how dull it looked in the middle of the year and even before the year. But to your point, Tom, both from before we went on the air to now, you've got to finish the job. It's not like one of those situations back in 2018, where we needed to win 4 straight. We needed the Vikings to choke, which they did. Thank you, Vikings. Looks like they're going to do it again this year. And we needed like 6 other things to happen. We control our own destiny, and we're facing a team that looks like they're broken in Washington. And Dallas, even if that game means anything, we're not 100% sure if they're even going to be playing their starters like they would in a fully meaningful playoff, in a meaningful game.
And honestly, it doesn't matter if they do or don't. It's an inexcusable loss. So I just want to make that clear to the people right now. I don't give a fuck how good they looked last night. I don't care. You're playing to get in. You're playing to get in at home. That becomes unsuccessful real fast.
Yeah.
The season becomes unsuccessful real fast. You don't finish the job.
We would have been winners of 7 of 9 going into that game in week 18. I get it how the Cowboys blew us out of the water the first time. I understand that they're the division champs. But based off of trends, based off of how teams have been winning and how we're one of the teams, as shocking as it is, we're one of the hottest teams in football. I'm not saying that we're going to the freaking Super Bowl, but just based off of we've won 6 out of our last 8, 4 out of our last 5, correct? So just based off of math alone and common sense, we're of that building. I'm really happy with what I've seen from this team.
Sorry, the other hot teams over in the AFC is is a friendly face, and that's Frank Reich and the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, the two hottest teams essentially in football. Now, Kansas City pretty good too. Don't get me wrong, Kansas City really turned their season around as well. So there is other ones, but they're the two hottest teams that ain't nobody want to play in the playoffs.
I will add on the third team. I'll one up you here because it's actually ironic because they all have ties to the Eagles, and I'm not sure if they fit the billing of like we don't want to see them in the playoffs. But the three hottest teams in football are three teams where we own the draft pick: Dolphins, Colts, us.
Yeah, now, the Dolphins aren't in yet.
No, but they've won. I think they've won 7 in a row after starting 1-7.
Yeah. They're listen. They're scorching. They're scorching. With the two that are in right now, everybody's like, we'll play them. You sure? Mm-hmm. We sure? Because both can put 200 yards on the ground against you. Yeah. How funny would that? How funny is that though? Like Frank Reich, Carson Wentz, and the Philadelphia Eagles, right, are spitting images of each other on what they're trying to do. They're trying to beat you up. They're trying to be out more physical than you. That's exactly what they are. And Nick, what did Nick bring from Indy? I mean, just to connect it, right? I mean, Nick brought from Indy the ability, a great run scheme too. One, you got to have the personnel, but we obviously do. And obviously the Indy does, right? But then the other side of it is, right, the execution of it. Mm-hmm. And he's done a tremendous job with it. And the credit to, we talk about a Frank Reich tree. Like, he really had a tree. Like, I mean, how does Frank get a tree?
Right,
that quick.
More like a branch.
Yeah, like a twig. We were talking like twig trees, right? But, I mean, credit to Nick because these teams really, I watch a lot of Hard Knocks too. I love it. And these teams are spitting images of each other. All right, I get the one quarterback's better than the other. I'm not here to debate that side of it. Okay, but the teams on what they try to do, it's funny. It really is.
But I agree with it. If they make the playoffs, it's a success. If they win a playoff game, it's a gigantic success. So I'll go back to like the success meter. It's like an 8 if they make the playoffs. It's like a 12 if they win a playoff game. But either way, I'm extremely happy with what this football team looks like they are and what they could do in the next couple of weeks.
What are you saying, out of 10 success? Like if they make it and they compete in the football game without winning it, I think it's a 10. Like 1 out of 10 successful because of the things we talk about. Rookie head coach, not rookie quarterback, but first year starter, right? Those two things, that's successful, especially if they got the 6th seed, right? Especially if they won the next 2 and they're a 6th seed because it's not even an expanded playoff got you in. You're one of the top usual 6. So that even makes it. That's why I fucking want these two really bad because I don't want nobody telling me asterisking me. Ain't nobody asterisking me right now.
No.
So let's go. Yeah. All right. So agree. Pete, we're going to get into that one, what Pete's comment in a few minutes because that one, I'm not even going to do it yet. Jimmy, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm kind of up in the air with what Pete's saying down there. The season's already a success regardless of the outcome. Now, like you said, if we do get into the playoffs and we get the doors blown off of us and we give up a 50 piece, and it's 50-14 and we lose in the first round, that's an unsuccessful season to me. But if we play these next 2 games to the best of our ability, given the lack of talent on the defensive side of the football and the lack of talent with our quarterback, and we just lose one of these games over the next 2 weeks, I would still say it's a success. And let's say that the Saints were to win out and they sneak into that last spot and we're the 8th seed and AC won't get you into the playoffs, I'll say it's a success just because of where everybody had us in the beginning of the season. Now, I know the 3 of us, like you said, Ryan, you had 9 wins. Me and Tom had 10.
No, you can't do that, Jimmy. You can't. That's not successful when you control your own destiny. Think about it. You control it, though. You're playing a dumpster fire next week. So all you got to really do is win week 18 in reality.
Yeah, and I'm just throwing out hypotheticals because I think we beat both of these teams. I'm taking our offensive line against any defensive line any day of the week. As long as Nick keeps
Dallas's out, but I hear you. Yeah.
I still think our offensive line is just as good as their defensive line.
Like fucking where's Waldo? Parsons. Where's Parsons?
Okay, but they've also played they're a little hot stretch. They've played a lot of teams to the level that we've been playing over the past 5 weeks. They haven't played a legit football team in I don't know how many weeks, but yeah, our offensive line. I've been saying it for the past 5 weeks now. I think we're the best offensive line in football. You win football games in the trenches. There's no reason why you shouldn't win next week. And like you said, week 18, You control your own destiny. You play your division rival, a division rival that absolutely embarrassed you in September. The three of us were on that on this panel when that game happened. Those live reactions. It was a horrible game. It was a horrible game to watch.
Bad day. Bad day.
3 months, 3 months later, you have an opportunity to avenge that loss when they're already sitting fat in the second seed, and you just can beat the crap out of them, run the football right down their throats. I don't see us losing those 2 games. That's why I'm saying no matter what happens, this season is success. Now, if we go into the first round of the playoffs and we play the Cowboys again and the Cowboys absolutely blow us out, then I'm saying the season's unsuccessful. But as of right now, I don't see us losing these next 2 games.
Okay. Now, they do cough up one. It's my question to the people. They do cough up one, and now they're on the outside looking in, right? And they don't get in.
I'll be disappointed. I will be disappointed, but I can't call it. But I can't call it unsuccessful because you have a lack of talent on the defensive side of the ball in your linebackers and your safeties. You had it the first 2 months of the year, or the first month and a half of the year, and then you had a quarterback that we still don't know who he is. 1 week on Tuesday, he looks like an above average quarterback, a Pro Bowl level quarterback. And then yesterday against a horrid Giants team, I think he played average. I still would like to see him make better throws. I would still like to see him examine the field and hit an open receiver in the end zone. But this is the type of shit we've been saying about this guy for a year and a month now. So looking at all that, I can't really deem the season unsuccessful because of a lack of talent on the defensive side of the ball that lost us football games and lack of quarterback play in some of the games this year. I can't just call this season unsuccessful because of 2 factors. That's it.
Well, it's not successful. It's not. It doesn't have any success to it. Then it's unsuccessful because you put yourself in the position to be able to get in. Right, you changed the perception of your football team. I mean, you lead the National Football League in rushing, so you lead the league in rushing. Like, so you do something at a high enough level, and you've proved it over this long period of time. We're talking about 16 weeks now, right? So now it's official that they're pretty good at this, right? Yeah. So if they didn't do anything at a high level, I would hear it. I would understand, like, being like, you know what, they weren't supposed to even get this close, right? I would totally understand that side of it. But when they do something at an elite level that also helps out those other facets that we're talking about, then we're not talking about playoff football. We're talking about getting there. Yeah. We're talking about winning the next 2 weeks. And to make sure you're in the dance, there's no excuse for them not to get in the dance.
Tom,
they go away from their MO.
I do have one excuse because everybody talks about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is probably always the main topic of conversation after every football game, right? He has yet to show us that he can win a football game with his arm. Now, if one of these next few games, Jalen Hurts is forced to win us a football game with his arm, are we going to deem this season unsuccessful if he does not win that football game?
Yes. Yes, because his future here in Philadelphia is determined by that. By that. People are going to say, well, Tom, it's year 2. What are you talking about, Tom? No, we sat here before the season started, and everybody sat here and said, we'll have 17 games to find some things out. Mm-hmm. Well, now we're at money time. We're the last 5 minutes of an NBA game. Here we are. We're going to find out.
And Tom, you weren't the only one, but you've been saying, you started this trend a couple weeks ago, and you said, after we saw all the Minshew stuff, that these last 4 games for Jalen Hurts, forget about the team for a second, just solely based off Jalen Hurts, will either win him the starting job for next year or it will lose it. Yep. Now, we're not canceling out the first, 12, 13, 14 weeks. We're not doing that. But is that okay? And this goes right along. I know
this isn't my statement. This isn't saying what Tom would do. This is saying that was me stating on what the organization's going to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll be here. He just won't be the starter.
Mm-hmm.
Or he fell.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that simple because they're not going to – they're getting the taste, right? They're like, look at that. Go right there. Right there. So, I mean, when we're judging this guy to be our quarterback next year, the year after, right, boys? Isn't this the time of the year we're judging him off of? I'm judging him off of playing winning football because that's his MO. That's what he's done. That's how he's been brought up as a quarterback from being coached by his pops, the Bama, all the way through, right? He's been brought up to be to care more about winning than anything else, right?
Well, he said it himself.
We can safely argue that Jalen Hurts is a winner. He's a winner. He's a winner. He's a college winner, but he's a winner. Now, right now, he's turned himself into a little bit of an NFL winner in terms of games because, listen, they're hot right now, and he's winning some football games. But these last two now, right, he's already checked off 2 boxes, right? Yeah. And then he's got 2 more to check off. He's got to check those off. And then his season's an absolute success. Yeah. Even like because whatever he does round 1, he does round 1 to me. Like he can almost say, "Hey, I've had success. I'm back." But I say that, and he come out throw 4 picks in the first round of the playoffs, and that changes real fast too, right?
Well, there's 2 things for that. One, to your point, Tom, Jalen Hurts said it himself yesterday. He said that winning teams and successful organizations win in December, regardless of what their expectations were before the year. Because he was asked about it. He was like, how do you view the season when a big portion of the league didn't have many expectations for you? He expected, a 4th place record, one of the highest picks in the draft, just a 2nd-round quarterback who can't throw the football. And he said that none of that matters, and especially and none of that matters if you don't finish the job. You know what I'm saying? So, like you talked about, Tom, like we've talked about before, in the last 4 weeks, just as a very small but yet very important sample size, week 1, which was obviously last week on Tuesday, he was around an A performance, B+ A performance. You could argue, yesterday, around C-? So he's like at a B- for the last 2 games. So now it's about, okay, finish it off the next 2 weeks and see where you're at. And then you could talk about where this team is, where the quarterback is, not only right now, but going forward. The other thing real quick, based off of how we've been trending on how, if you take care of business against Washington next week, your winners of 7-9, your winners of 5 of 6. I pulled this up. This is via John Clark. Our 6 wins over the last 9 weeks. Only the Chiefs have more throughout the last 9 weeks around the NFL. We've been averaging just under 30 points a game, 29.9 points a game. That's only 2nd behind the Colts. We've been giving up 16.6 points per game. That's number 1 in the NFC. That's big. So, I understand. Listen, the Cowboys are better. They've shown more. They're the winners of the division.
Can we get the list of quarterbacks we played over those games still?
Oh, I hear you. It's
the offensive side of it, I believe. The offensive side is there's truth to that. There's truth to us scoring points and having an MO. The defense, I'm not in trust mode at all. Nope. At all. Even though those numbers are great. Those numbers are great.
Questions about it. Yeah.
But the list of quarterbacks, you're like, who? You're going to be like, well, not us. I mean, if you just got here, you'd be like, what? Who's that?
Yeah. Well, real quick, did you notice whose name reportedly came up in the first wave of head coaching interviews today?
Dougie P.
Well, yes. Jonathan friggin' Gannon. Somebody take him.
Please take him. Please take him.
Please. This is Unlin all over again. Just take him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I get it. It's all about the young analytics guy. What organization's interviewing him for a head coaching job?
Somebody that looked at those numbers you just told us.
Yeah, they should watch the games. They should watch games September through middle of November.
Yeah.
Well, Gavino, I disagree. I mean, the defense numbers are because of the quarterbacks you're playing, but the offensive numbers aren't. Yeah. I mean, it's not fair to say. Yeah. We try to take things away from this offense. When we do something extremely well, I don't know why we would try to take anything away from this offense on what they've been able to accomplish, especially the way they've gone about it, right? Where they didn't, you're talking about 5 weeks of the year, we're yelling and screaming about running the football, even a little bit. Why are we not running? Why are we not running? We talked about this, and to be able to change it and go do it and really create, we talked about 6 weeks ago, can't use the word identity yet because they got to do it for a long period of time to create an identity and say, this is what we do. Everybody in the ballpark's coming today, and they know what you're lined up to do. But guess what? They ain't as physical as us. And if you pay attention to enough football, you'll know, listen, it still is the more physical team. The team that wants to be more physical up front is the team that's going to win on Sundays. And that's why we've been winning football games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this offense has been I don't want to say a pleasure to watch, but it's been what we can do, and teams know what we're going to do, and everybody knows what we're going to do, and we still go do it, and we still go do it at a high rate. And then yesterday, factor in the quarterback didn't run. I still think his ankle wasn't 100%, but he didn't run.
7 yards, only 7 yards.
So you talk about that. This football team rushed for over 120 yards yesterday. Again. So, I mean, that's what we even without the quarterback run. So,
and that was only Tom, to be honest with you, that was basically only in one half because we really didn't see much of I don't think it was like against the Chiefs.
We tried to throw it a lot in the first.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So we ran 100, I think it was 131 was the total. We rushed for 131 yards and a half.
Yeah.
And to us, that's like 45 yards because we've been seing 200-yard performances.
Yeah. And this was without Howard and Miles.
Jamie, I put my nose up to it when I first looked at it yesterday. I said, "This is a misprint." You know what I mean? Like, this is a misprint. Fucking 130 yards. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Does that
go up today?
Does that slow start against the last two teams against Washington and the Giants? Does that stick with you guys at all?
No, because I'm not Greg. So that's what Greg said last night. It will stick with me if it goes another week. I mean, you go to Washington and you get off to another slow start, then that becomes a problem, becomes a trend.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make too much of it, but I'm not saying it's nothing. It's something to keep an eye on because I don't know. I have to go look at like the deep fucking analytical numbers and know how they start in football games through 16 weeks, which I just don't have the time or the patience to do.
It matters how you finish, like you said yesterday. And when it comes to the two slow starts that we had, those are really the only two slow starts that we've seen from this offense since we started this hot streak of running the football. And I think when it comes to the football,
Giants, right? Besides Giants, well, no, not besides Giants, because that wasn't a slow start. To your point, like if
that's just turning the football over, and
we just turned it on. Yeah, we were in their zone the whole fucking game.
But when it comes to the Washington football team, you're 18-day break, 18-day rest. So if anybody expects them to come out to a hot start after an 18-day rest, I don't know. But then
and then a turnaround like that too.
Yeah,
so
I don't bat an eye at it. I don't bat an eye at it. I think we'll start off hot against the football team. I don't want to overlook anybody, but I think this football team, the Washington football team, is just that. I think they're done. They're punching each other on the sideline. That the COVID really hit them. I don't see us. I'm not. It could be
changed their momentum, Jimmy. It changed their momentum for sure.
Yeah,
it really did.
Yeah,
it was. And like looking ahead to this coming week, real quick. Forget what I'm saying. Hold on.
Fuck you.
Hold the hell on. Yeah.
Appreciate the super chat. All you Dallas and Washington, I read it every time like, what the fuck? I don't know if anybody's ever read it.
Me too.
But I never read it like Washington football team. But the Washington football team fans in the chat, hit that like and subscribe button. Absolutely, Lotta. Pound it because I want to hear from you. First off, I want to hear from you after week 17, but I really want to hear from Dallas after week 18. Because everybody in the chat telling me, you won't beat Dallas. Okay, listen, maybe we don't. All right, but they got to be able to stop the run. Okay, and I'm not saying they can't, but they got to be able to stop the run because unlike anybody they've seen, you got a team that's going to come in there and try to punch it down their throats. All right?
Yeah. Tommy, to that point, if the playoffs did start today or tomorrow or whatever, we would be playing Dallas in the first round of the playoffs. And out of the four powerhouses in the NFC, I would want to play Dallas. For reason number one, they're Dallas and they choke all the time when expectations are high. Reason number two, we have ran the football on teams like New Orleans, on teams like Denver during this stretch like it's nothing.
Yep.
The key to winning a football game is possession, and controlling the line of scrimmage, controlling the game in the trenches. And even though our defensive line is aging, I still like our defensive line. I think they're top 10 defensive line. And then our offensive line, top 3 offensive line, probably the best offensive line in football. So if you control the possession game against Dallas and take a whole different approach to the football game as opposed to what you did in September, they're not gonna know what hit them. So I want to play Dallas. I don't know what you guys think.
You better stop. What are you saying? You're going to beat him in week 18 and then you're going to go beat him the first round of the playoffs too? What do we No.
I'm good.
I'll sit that out because I know how that's going to go. I can't see them round one.
So we'd rather play Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady?
No, I want Arizona. I want Arizona.
Arizona's not going to win the division. LA's going to win the division, and I don't want to play LA.
I mean, I'd probably rather see Dallas.
Yeah.
Out of those four, I want to see Dallas and run the football down their throats.
But I just don't know if we can do it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it's tough.
But who's to say they're going to be playing people in week 18? That could be a gimme game for us.
I guess it depends on that number 1 seed, right?
Yeah.
It all depends on that. Or just positioning, right?
That's why, can we just handle our business this week? Can we just handle our business against Washington so we don't have to deal with it? You know what I'm saying? Just clinch. Just freaking clinch so we can get cute in week 18, please.
All right, real quick. 1 and 2 play home throughout, right? So
yes.
you gotta factor that into it. So teams are not only playing for the 1 seed, but they're also trying to play for that 2 seed too. Because 2 gives you home field till title game.
Yeah.
And maybe even home field in the title game, right? So 2 really gets you at home as much as possible. So teams are still going to be jockeying for that one too. So I don't know if you might see it, like if Dallas wins next week, or if Dallas doesn't, or however it shakes up and they don't have a chance for the 1, maybe you do see him sit guys down. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what teams do, because a lot of teams are bunched up. I mean, those 4 or 5 teams right there are all just sandwiched together with 10 or 11 wins, right? So what can happen?
Here we go. Here's Bill. Hi, Bill.
What's up, Bill?
He's got his opening monologue. He says 2-5 with me, thinking they were tanking to winning 6 of their next 8. Imagine the few we gave away, like the 49ers game, not running on 1st and goal on the 4. Hurts has gotten better. Nick is showing emotion, and the entire team seems to be coming together. Let's go. Jimmy is right. It's going to be Dallas. Said that last night. So they're not tanking anymore, Bill? That's what you're saying?
And it's going to be Dallas. So now Bill wants me to believe it's going to be Dallas too. I mean, he's already 0 for 1 in the comment here. Love you, Billy. But listen, no, I mean, I never thought they were tanking. There was a conversation at 2-5 on the airways here of obviously our thoughts on them tanking, right? So on not them trying to, but us like, hey, whatever, just get draft picks at this point, right? If they don't start winning football games, and they did.
Binks. He says and he's screaming this, by the way. If Hurts makes the playoffs, do you think he's the guy everybody wrote us off in the preseason, now poised for a playoff push? Thanks.
I just need to see 2 consistent games from him, and then we could talk about whether he's the guy. That's mine. I think, Tom, you and I are in the same boat. I think he's earned the job next week. The only thing he can do over these next 2 weeks is take it away from himself. Like, he's got the job next year, because I don't think we want to draft anybody, or I don't think we're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd rather build around him than just go out and give 7 picks for Russell Wilson or a guy in Deshaun Watson that we don't know if he's going to play football every year. Like, we just don't know. Mm-hmm. Only bad can come out of this for the next 2 weeks for Jalen Hurts, at least in my opinion. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like I said, if they don't make the playoffs, he's not here.
I agree to that. I think I said that in November, but if we, especially in the middle of this run, these last 2 games come down to him, and if he can't pull them off, and it goes to my point earlier, if it comes down to him having to throw the football and we end up losing that game, I don't think he's the guy next year. I think he goes back to his backup role, and you roll with Gardner. But I also don't think you go after a quarterback this offseason either. Just build the defense.
What do you guys think of this? And again, this is if Mortensen is correct, or if he's just not got bored one day and he decided to create the story. If this is true that, and I forget if he said when Gardner allegedly did this, what do you think of Gardner going into Sirianni's office and being like, hey, what do I have to do to start? You like that? Do you have a problem with that?
No, anybody has a problem with it shouldn't be covering sports or ever play a sport in their life. Yeah, so, I mean, you think these are grown men. You think these guys don't want to start. These guys don't want to play. And these guys want to play. They want to be out there.
Especially with a guy in Gardner that only has 4 more starts than Jalen does in his career. People forget that Gardner Minshew is 25 years old. Mm-hmm. It's not like this guy is a 30-year-old run-of-the-mill guy. He's still trying to prove himself. He basically got canned in Jacksonville when they went with Trevor Lawrence. And he got canned with a roster that wasn't really helping him, a head coach that wasn't really helping him. So he still has stuff to prove in his mind.
Yeah, this isn't Mike Glennon. This isn't a Mike Glennon situation. He's been around for like 30 years.
Yeah. So if anybody has a problem with that, they clearly have an agenda. So.
Yeah, I saw a thread in one of these groups this morning. Gardner Minshew, he's becoming a locker room cancer by being selfish and asking for what's in it for him. No, he's just asking after they beat the freaking Jets and they threw the football. Hey, what do I have to do? He's being a competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do I have to do to start? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong with this comment.
I'm shocked Brinkman's on this, by the way. I'm shocked.
Regardless of playoffs, how many teams can say they were playoff relevant in what was said to be a rebuilding year by everyone? Well, you can't say huge success, Brinks, because now they control their own destiny. So now I already smell you. So when they do lose, if they do lose one of these two and don't make it, you're going to be smoking them. You're going to say, get rid of this guy and that guy. So no, it's not a huge success. Absolutely not. If this team does not get in the playoffs as where they stand right now, it is. I mean, you want to argue successful and maybe try to sell me on that? Sure. To put the word huge in front of it, I mean, grow up, Peter Pan. I mean, really grow up. Grow up, because that's egregious to put the word huge in front of a non-playoff team. Like ever, that controls their own destiny with 2 weeks left.
Yeah, Breaks, I'm shocked you're on that.
You want to tell me they get the 9 wins, right, and don't make the playoffs preseason, and you want to tell me that's successful? Okay, maybe I can wrap my head around that. Still want it, because every year you're playing to get into the dance, especially the expanded wild card. You got an extra team gets in. So, no, you play to get in. You want to be the Phillies? You want to be the Phillies that haven't got there in 10 fucking years? Who do you want to be? Brinky? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Who's everybody want to be out there? I'll always take getting to the goddamn dance. It's way more successful than the alternative. Huge success.
I like free football. I like an extra week. That's fun, especially when the basketball team sucks. I like that. James, he says, you guys know a timetable on Miles' return. Is he out for the season? I don't think – Tom was saying this earlier. I don't think he's out for the year because they would have put him on IR if that was the case. I could see a situation where if he – like, say, for example, we clinch the playoffs. Tell me if you guys agree with this. If we clinch the playoffs this week, I could see us where they hold him out until the first week of the playoffs. You know what I mean? And then maybe, like, if the game is, like, really meaningful against the Cowboys, maybe we see him then.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to take the cautious approach to where if we need him, we'll play him type thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a week-to-week thing. Fractured hand.
Miles or Jordan?
Miles.
I don't think it's a week-to-week thing. I mean, fractured his hand. So I don't know how week-to-week that gets for a running back, right? It's tough. I mean, it's not like you can bandage it up a ton. You need it. You need it for ball carrying. So you can't put something over it to take that hit. Now, I mean, it could be a small fracture where it's like a 2 week injury, right? It could be something like that where
it is, though.
Where he
that's what I'm thinking it is.
By the playoffs, but then how strong is that hand now? That's my only question. I don't know. But I think that I agree though, Jimmy. Like they didn't put him on IR tells me that they think there's a chance of him being able to go if they make the playoffs. Or they're just holding out hope because they don't know yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Elliot says, from a scale of 1 to 10 on season success, 6 if we make the playoffs, 8 if we compete well in a playoff game, and 10 if we win a round. I agree with that.
I think it's above a 10 if we win a playoff game.
Yeah, it's above Elliot. I agree with everything up until that. It's a 10 if you get in and you compete.
Yeah,
it's a 10 if you get in and compete. And I'm never a guy to say like losing's okay. You're on the road. You're probably against a big bad wolf. So to expect anything more than to compete there is then unrealistic. That becomes unrealistic.
It's the only reason why it's tough for me to say just flat out 10 if we compete, just because there's going to be a little level of sting, not like Jordan Howard 12-week sting, but we all know that that night if we lose to the Bucs or the Cowboys, regardless of who it is.
And if we're competing and it depends how we lose that game.
We lose by a field goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to be feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you're going to step away. Take yourself out of the emotion for a second, right? Take yourself out of what you're saying, which is 100% spot on. In the moment, losing's never fun. But when we're going to go reflect, right? You're going to, like, I got to reflect after the game, right? You'll get 24 hours to reflect on it. So by that time Monday, per se, if it's a Sunday game, right? By that time Monday, right, as you guys get a chance to reflect on that stuff, both of you two, right? Then you're going to say to yourselves, you know what, though? It's successful because look how much we have after this. Look what we have. We got a ton of money. We got a ton of draft picks. We got, we got a head coach, right? Then you're feeling these types of things moving forward that you can build off of this. It's hard to not get into the dance and then say, look at all the stuff we got to build on. Go jerk me off, right? That's why it's not a huge success, right? But to your guys' point in terms of this, like it's a 10 on that level when you take a step back. But right after, minutes after, we're all going to be depressed little doggies, right? We're all going to be a little upset, and then we take a step back and say, look what we got to look forward to in the future. Now, Jimmy, I get it. I know you. If he throws for $120, then listen. Then it's going to be success of him is different.
Then
right?
I'll be crying about the ex-girlfriend and how bad this GM just ruined us because we had the opportunity and we choked it up because of lack of talent.
And then he goes and throws for 12, and he has 12 attempts in his game, and they might go home too.
Jimmy's going to be hugging the jersey. He's not going to be wearing it. He's going to be hugging it like a freaking blanket.
As much as I love the guy, I mean, he turns the ball over just as much as this guy does.
Not this year. No, I'm not talking about him today. Sorry.
Don't you do that? Because
he has to be a game manager this year because he's got the best running back in the
league. So is our guy. Our guy's being a game manager too.
I know. Listen, I know our guy's just a game guy. I understand that. Expectations, Jimmy. Expectations.
If we lose by a field goal in the first round of the playoffs and plays were left out on the field, and I have the day to reflect, my reflection is this organization is a total failure because you had something in your hands and we just let it fumble.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Right? What are you doing? All right. Like, come on. You wouldn't have a girl in your life now if you were worried about all the rest of them, right? If you're worried about one, it's a common theme. Like for you guys, like let it go. You got to move on from it. What him being here, not being here, has zero do or impact this team moving forward right now.
But it's
zero. Zero impact. Besides, you get compensation back at the end of the year for him.
But I think it's a similar thing to us bitching about DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson.
Like I know. I bitch about Justin because Justin was in my lap, and Justin was a first round.
The guy that's in Indianapolis.
No, the DK.
He left. No, he cheated on us, Jimmy.
I'll get
Indianapolis. He cheated on us.
Stop with the DK, okay? Because DK was a second round pick. It becomes irrelevant after that. Everybody else passed on him too. All right, and he's not like. Right, like I don't care about DK. The Jefferson one was like in your lap, right? In your lap. He didn't have off the field issues or anything else like that, right? He didn't have any of the baggage. That one's in your lap. Now this guy, like Ryan said, this guy pretty much stated on the McAfee show that he wanted out.
He cheated.
So he wanted out. He didn't answer his calls. He did the same thing 2-5's doing essentially. He's doing the same thing. He just went hunting. And still wanted to play football. Right, but he was a little puss about it. Let's call it what it is.
He was, but I can't blame him.
You know how I stand, but don't say he wasn't puss.
I agree. I agree that he was being a little puss, but I honestly can't blame him after everything that had happened.
He downloaded
Jimmy. Look what a man does. Look what a man does in Green Bay, Jimmy. Look what men do. Men don't say. They say, "Hey, yeah, Jordan Love. All right, I'm mad at the organization. You're going to sit here for a while, so enjoy your time." Right? That's what the men do, right? The alphas in the room.
They get spiteful on draft day. They don't hide. They get spiteful.
32nd ranked quarterback in the National Football League.
I'm not, and I don't want to compare these two quarterbacks, but I would like to see Carson Wentz with a Devontae Adams.
Yeah, and
an Aaron Jones.
I would like to see Jalen Hurts. I would like to see Jalen Hurts with Devontae Adams. That'd be fun too.
He has a Devontae Smith that he doesn't utilize correctly.
Hey, more the merrier, Jimmy. More the merrier. I'll take 2 Devontaes. We have a million Jalen's. I'll take a couple Devontaes.
Yeah, now when you can't see the field, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a horrible situation, but that's the thing. If I were to reflect after losing by a field goal in the first round of the playoffs, I would aim it right back at the organization and call the season a failure.
Don brought up a scenario that's absolute nightmare fuel. He said, what if the game is 24-23 against the Cowboys in the playoffs, but Jake Elliott misses a 35-yarder for the win?
I think Tommy retires as a fan, like he's been saying over the past couple of weeks.
Don, if that happens, if you predict the future, I'm going up to Detroit. I'm finding you, and I don't want to go to Detroit. But I'm going to find you, Don. For putting that in the universe.
That would be hard. That I think my heart wouldn't be. I can't even put it into words. I would be heartbroken, devastated.
That is my all-time fear: to lose a playoff game by missing a field goal. Like we would be the Bears. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be the Bears.
Still a success.
That would probably be that would be as bad as a quadruple doink.
Still a success. Because I'm sure there's other plays in that football game outside the field goal that you left on the field too, right? Yeah. So I mean, you left out there and you didn't get. So I mean, to me, that's competing, right, Don? That's a compete world. I'm not happy about it, but you know what I mean. I'm not running around excited, clapping my hands, but it's still a really successful year. Right, but now next year everything changes, right?
Yeah.
Jesse says, I remember the Quez catch. The commentator went, "Oh boy," under his breath when Jalen threw that Stevie Wonder style.
Yeah, that was a hell of a catch by Quez. Hell of a catch.
Well, they both made really good ones on deep balls that were underthrown yesterday. Devontae made a good catch on a deep ball underthrown, and so did Quez.
Makes you wonder, Tom. Hey, if first time we faced the Giants, if he would have thrown it up to one of those two guys instead of Mr. Rager, hey, maybe we would have won. You know what I'm saying? He threw it to the one guy who can't go up and get a ball.
He could get a ball in garbage time when it doesn't matter.
I do think it's stupid that people boo him out of the tunnel, though. I think that's the dumbest thing in sports.
Yeah,
the dumbest thing in sports. You're booing him out the tunnel. Boo him when he drops the ball. Okay, then you start to boost. You don't got to boo the guy. I don't even like the guy, and I'm telling you, stop booing guys coming out the tunnel, please. Like unless the guy you found that guy slept with your wife, please stop. Please stop booing guys out the tunnel. Let them make a blunder for then you then inflict the boo on them, right? Yeah. Inflict the boo after something bad happens. I'm not crowning the guy. He had 57 yards last week. We're gonna boo him out the tunnel this week. Like probably not the week to boo him out the tunnel. Boo him after he drops the bubble screen. Then you boo him. Right? You boo him then. You rain down on him. Oh, what up, Jimmy?
Yeah. I hear you, Tommy, on that point. I'm probably one of Jalen Rager's biggest critics, and I really do not like him as a football player. But I agree with you. There's no reason to boo him out of the tunnel. You boo him when he makes a mistake in the game. Because when you boo him out of the tunnel, he just loses – We also got to remember that these guys are people. They're human beings. And just to boom straight out of the tunnel, I think it's kind of a weak move. Yeah, he makes mistakes. Yeah, we should have Justin Jefferson. But that's not Jalen Rager's fault. It's Jalen Rager's fault when he drops 2 game-winning touchdowns. You boo him in the moment then, but not coming out of the tunnel before a game. A fresh game, by the way, where he can make play after play.
Yeah, because you don't know, right? Maybe you give him a little pat on the ass and he comes out and has a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know anymore with these guys. No, Don, I wouldn't boo Ben out the tunnel. I would boo him. I'd boo him after he misses a free throw, though.
Yeah, I would not boo Ben out of the tunnel, especially considering how we realize how soft the guy is. The second we boo him out of the tunnel, the second he comes up on a fake hammy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even gonna do. I don't even want to do that.
Yeah.
Jesse has played better, Rager. This over the last, what was it, 9 days of football, or I don't even know.
2 receptions for 15 yards and a solid punt return.
More of an impact, but it was the punt return, right?
Yeah.
And we drafted a gadget spinner, so that's where you get the punt return from.
Yeah.
And teach you how to be a fan class at Temple. Theo, I'll do that. We should start that. How to be a fan. How to be a fan. But no, just stop booing the guy out the tunnel. Like boom when he drops the ball. As soon as he drops one, fucking load into him. Smoke him. Let him know you're here. Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it right out of the tunnel.
Yeah. I also see a lot of people in the chat saying that they want to see Dallas in round 1.
Okay, this depends on this, Jimmy. It depends. This is how I could buy into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We win this week and we get in this week, right? Yeah. And then week 18, we're not playing nobody. They're not playing nobody type deal.
I would love that.
Then I'll say, okay, I'll play them round 1. Let's go. Because then that week 18 doesn't matter.
Yeah.
but I don't want to play him back-to-back.
In meaningful games. I hear you on that. I hear you. It's a tough situation because if that scenario is out the door and we play them in a game that doesn't matter in week 18, then out of those 4 teams, Rams, Bucks, Cowboys, Packers, I want to see the Cowboys any day of the week. And then the Rams are probably a close second. Just for the simple fact that their defense has been beat up this year. Matt Stafford will have the weight of the world on his shoulders. Somebody said it earlier in the comments, and it's a great point because Matt Stafford finally has a team around him where he's finally in a situation where he's in a home playoff game and he has to beat a 7 seed. I would take my chances against Matt Stafford there. But if we're simply saying based off of right now, I want the Cowboys. I think they're way over their heads right now. Besides yesterday, their offense had been struggling. Dak Prescott is back to the inconsistent quarterback that I've seen him be over the past 5 years. And the only thing that they had going for them was their defense was beating up on hard offenses. So it's same situation that we've been in. And I don't think our offense is hard. I think we're controlling the line of scrimmage. We're controlling the pace of the game. And we have 4 legit running backs that can run it at you on any given down.
Yeah.
And that's the recipe to win a playoff football game.
Yeah. I don't know. I might be in the minority here. But I think I'd rather go to Tampa or I'd rather go to Lambeau. And people are going to tell me I'm outrageous. And I think I would. I think maybe not Tampa because of their run defense. It's really still really good there. And Tom, you probably don't win that game. But Lambeau's a place I think I can go win. Lambeau's a place that I think I can go win.
Cold weather, no dome.
Right?
Control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you got to run the football. Can you keep Aaron off the field? Like, that's a game I can – because I'm not in love with Green Bay's defense. I mean, Cleveland just showed you. They ran for freaking – I think they ran for 700 yards, and Baker threw 4 picks, right?
And they still only lost by 2.
And still only lost by 2. And I'm not saying that defines the Packers.
Who the Packers are, yeah.
But their defense – I don't want to ever see Rodgers, of course. But their defense has some chinks in their armor. They've had a problem for a few years now when it comes to running teams. Can you go expose it again earlier than an NFC title game? I don't know. But if you can, that's a way that you can go. You can maybe go steal one in Lambeau. But listen, I mean, to steal one in any of these places, you got to go there and you got to be able to run the football. Because if you don't run the football, then obviously it's not even. I'm not basing it off of the quarterbacks. I'm basing it off of what team do I actually have the best chance of going and beating. Right, Dallas, I got to play twice. Stafford game, I don't love it. Their offense can be too explosive for me. I might not be able to stay in that game in there on the turf, right? Because I got a lot of weapons I got to worry about. Not only do I have to worry about Cooper Kupp, I got to worry about Odell too now. Right, so the less weapons, the better offensively. When I go to Green Bay, I gotta stop Devontae Adams. Right, I gotta stop Devontae Adams. So depending on where I'm going, I got less to worry about too. But I also think last thing to me, I think the Rams have a better run defense than the Packers do.
And Slay has a lot of confidence going into this game right now. So I got an echo. All right, it's gone. Yeah, Slay has a lot of confidence going into this game right now. If it were to be Devontae Adams, I would like to see him go against a superstar wide receiver because I don't think he has done it this year, maybe. And going back to our success at Lambeau Field over the past few years, it's undeniable. I remember the 35-27 game Thursday Night Football where we ran the football that was the game where Jeffrey Lurie said we should stop running the football or whatever. But I do hear you on that point, and it's a very good point. And if Rodgers is hobbled by that broken toe, they're pretty much nothing. And we get the chance to pick on Rasul Douglas.
Yeah. Or somebody said he picks off too.
Yeah, I don't know. I always liked Rasul, but if we had a chance to pick on Rasul Douglas, Devontae Smith picking on Rasul Douglas, Jalen getting in the ball, that would be an interesting game. Now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm still saying Matt Stafford or Dak Prescott for the simple fact that quarterbacks win in the postseason.
They do, but I mean they're still good. They're still 2 good quarterbacks, right? So you're talking about all these teams. You're still talking about elite quarterbacks. at least how the league views them, how they're getting paid to be. I mean, they're still elite caliber quarterbacks. They can still carve your ass up. I mean, both of them can. Right? I mean, we can agree that Dak and Stafford could both tear you up. Would you rather see Dallas with all those weapons? Or would you rather go in a dome, right, on turf, or would you rather go to Lambeau?
I'd rather go to Lambeau.
I ain't trying to see CD, Amari, and everything they got there. That's a lot down there. They already did it to us once.
I
don't know. Same thing with the Rams. The Rams got too much firepower for me.
Oh, I want no part of Cooper Kupp. I want no part of that.
That's what worries me, Jimmy. I think our defense is definitely better than it was earlier on in the year. But those teams worry me a little bit more. Anybody with like an extra weapon on the outside, I'm like, oh, how am I going to stop this? Right? Because I remember like there was a point in time where, guys were throwing in like 95% completion rates against us. There was a point in time where that was happening, and we couldn't believe this was real life. There was like 5 straight games that guys threw over 75% completion percentage against us. So that worries me in a closed environment, right? Closed environment on the road with a lot of weapons to throw to. Oh, my God, I can fucking smell it. We might not get off the field. At least in Lambeau, I got a chance of a fucking wind gust taking one of Rodgers' balls somewhere where he didn't want it to go, right? I got a chance of that happening.
Yeah.
A bad ball, fucking cold. He's got a bad toe still. I mean, I feel like I got a fighter's chance. I still don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be predicting us to win that game. Just like I don't know if I'm predicting us to go to Tampa and win. But there are 2 places. Tampa, the way I can go there and win is I get home. That's been well documented for years. I got to get home. If I don't get home, you might as well just pack your bags in. Get the bus ready outside because we're ready to leave.
I'm sure you guys agree with this too. I could live with losing a playoff game to like Rodgers or Brady. You know what I'm saying? Like it would still hurt, especially if we compete in that game and like the Don thing comes in the case where like we miss a field goal or something, or they win via field goal. But losing to a Cowboys, obviously because of the rivalry, but also because I think the Dallas is not nearly as good. Not that they're bad. So all the Dallas fans, I'm not saying your team is bad. That would bother me a lot more than per se, having to go up to Lambeau and losing to them.
Yeah, like I agree with Bryce. I think the Rams boat race us.
I think the Rams are winning it all.
Both. Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
I know. I'm just sticking with that because I said that before the year, and I'm
but then
still
there was
like
too
alive.
much added into me. It's unfair because like I didn't think Robert Woods was going to go out. I like the Rams a lot before the season too, but like I didn't think Robert Woods was going to go down. They were going to have to bring in another wide receiver. Then they go bring in somebody defensively. I mean, listen, they're in what the definition, like you open up Webster's dictionary, and there's you better win now. Them and Tampa already did it, so they're not in must, right? But the Rams there's a picture of the Rams right there. And it's Stafford, it's Von fucking Miller, it's Aaron Donald, right? It's OBJ, it's all them guys that you better fucking win now.
It's them and the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, at least Aaron has one.
Nah, I think.
But you're right. I mean, it was 40 years ago.
I think the Chiefs
now Packers fans
taking it home.
Packers fans better hope that happens.
I don't think he's going anywhere though.
I think it depends on what they do too.
True. If they choke in the first round,
I'm telling you right now, if we go to Lambeau Field and we beat Aaron Rodgers in round 1, he is out of there.
Hey,
out of there.
Here. I was just going to Tom, get out of my freaking head. I was just going to say,
please come here and bring Devontae with you.
Family's a riot. But then nobody can argue like that. Hurts would be behind Rodgers. Like nobody could be like, how could you do this to Jalen?
Oh, people would argue.
And you got a fucking gold jacket guy walking through the door. But I'm not even there. Let's. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves, right? I said this earlier on before the show. We'll go ahead, Ryan. I think we're ahead of ourselves with the playoff talk.
While I was in the couple minutes I was punching the computer, I have 2 pieces of information. I don't know if you guys got to it. Did you see what Miles put on Twitter?
Oh, not again. What?
No, this is okay. Well, but it might be a sign that he could be out longer than usual.
Yeah, it's a fractured fucking hand.
Yeah. So he put on Twitter, it was kind of like, it's almost like a goodbye type thing.
What?
He put, and I quote, "By far the most difficult, frustrating, emotional year of my life. I put my heart and soul into this sport. One thing about me, though, when adversity hits, I always respond. I love these Philly fans. I love my teammates, and I promise I will bounce back from this." that's kind of like a I'll see you next season type thing.
Yeah, it's depressed too, right? It's the depressed tweet. That's what I call that. Like after injury, now, like you've had 24 hours now, and now you're in like a bad state, right? The first 24, you're still running off the emotion of a game, still, right? Now it's a depressed tweet.
Dude,
like, what am I going to do with my hands? You know what I mean?
Do we sign Shady to a veterans minimum just to have him here for shits and giggles?
Yeah, Keys. I think he's out for the reason he's not on IR in case they win a playoff game. Right? Let's be real here.
Like, I don't know if this.
I find it hard to believe you're back in under 3 weeks. I find it really hard to fucking believe that.
I don't know if this guy still has any functional knees, but does Todd Gurley interest anybody?
Not even a little bit.
I'd rather have Shady than Gurley.
No. I'd rather have right what I have in the backfield right now. Let's slow down now, because you're going to get a guy and you just plug and playing, and you're expecting he's going to be successful.
Like Jay Ajayi 2019, where he couldn't walk anymore.
To be fair, I think any running back can fit in this system and put up 50 yards if they get.
No, I got two young ones back there, right, boys? Like it's like not like I have guys that like I still have that they still have upside, right? Like Kenny supposedly has an upside. You drafted him for some upside, right? So let Kenny get a chance. Let Boston get a chance. I'm not crowning those two, but I got my playoff guy sitting there waiting in the wings, and it ain't the guy you're thinking it's the guy. And I'm not saying Jordan Howard is better than Miles Sanders. I'm telling you that I need physicalness in the postseason. So we're in a good spot. Now, if Howard's out for an extended period, I start to worry.
Yeah.
Not worry, because we're still going to run the ball at a higher rate because we got two guys that can zip, 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 right? So both guys are quick and speed guys, so we'll be all right. But I still think we need the thunder. We need the pound in there, right? I call him our closer. He's a closer in baseball, right? Put him in the fourth when everybody's a little tired and make guys try to arm tackle then. And let me know how it goes. Because then you're getting 4 yards a pop just off a guy trying to fucking arm tackle you.
Yeah. If Howard Stinger is something to be concerned about for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I do think we need to get a power running back.
Yeah. Tom, to Jimmy's point, if Howard is out for a little while, can we get? I'll make like a baseball analogy. Can we get like Gainwell to be like our J.C. Romero? Not a closer, but like a good setup guy.
Yeah, I mean, Scott, Boston might be more of that. I mean, Boston runs harder than fucking Miles does. I mean, Christ Almighty. I mean, the guy's freaking 5'6". I mean, he puts his shoulder more in for contact and gets more upfield than both of them do. This is why I told you guys. I'm not trying to crush the guy on depression tweet here. Right? I'm trying to say that when you don't want to hit and go enough, when you bounce too much, right? The other guys proved that we ran. This is when we started running the football great, was when he went out before. But nobody out there that's team run, booby run wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. Nobody wanted to say a word about it. They just want to put her T-shirts on and keep talking about them. So here I am to tell you that watch it again. So what are we going to say now? And I'm telling you, Booby's had a great 2 weeks. Right? I even messaged him on Instagram and said, hey, how you fucking run the football. Right? I even went, right? I even put my ego aside. This is how you go run the fucking football. That's all I was asking for. Right? I thought he ran well, over the last 3 weeks. I thought he did. I'm going to call it as I see it. I'm a Booby fan. I want him to be good. But let's not act like we didn't run the ball in an alarming rate before he came back.
Yeah, he's not LaDainian Tomlinson. He's not like that.
Yeah. And I'm not saying for talent, and we need the home run, but I think Kenny and Boston can give you enough home run-ish threat that you'll be okay. Enough of the gash plays, right? Because Jordan's not going to give you the 25-yarder per se, like Miles can. So I think those two can give you enough explosiveness to make it work, right?
The other thing that I read, and I saw a couple people put it in the chat, and this, because I don't think San Fran's clinched anything yet. And I think you said, Tom, like there's still a chance we can get the 6th seed if certain things happen. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Garoppolo's thumb injury is apparently way more significant of an injury than a thumb sprain, and could be concerning for the finish of their season.
It ain't concerning for them at all. I mean, you want to talk about Thumbgate? Everybody want to do Thumbgate for a second? The guy stinks out loud. I mean, that's what happened. The guy stinks out loud. Would you bump that on the Jimmy? We got. Did you bump that on the door like in a meeting? Did you bump that on your desk in a meeting? Go see the trainer, please. And he's walking down to the trainer, and they're all already ringing the trainer like, yo, talk about you got a weird sprain that you never seen before, right? Okay, I got you. Jimmy comes in. Jimmy, how good to see. Whoa, that finger don't look good, right? And here you are. Give this young puppy a chance because we stink. We stink anyway. Right? They stink. Okay, and I would love it. Who?
The Niners?
I'm not a Niner guy. I'm not a Kyle Shanahan. Will never be a Kyle Shanahan coach team ever call them good. Ever 100. Call them good. Now he wants to run the football. Grow up, Kyle. You freaking loser. Right? The only reason you got a job in the NFL is because of daddy. Let's call it how we see it. Please. Let's call it how we see it on A2D. Now, do I like some of their players, Ryan? That's a different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Then Warner's a stud, Bosa's a stud. I get that. Their secondary stinks. All right, Jimmy Ward's good, but outside of that, they stink. It's a bunch of fucking guys. All right. Their offense is Deebo Samuel, who is a pimp. Literally a pimp with a fur mink coat walking around. That's the kind of pimp he is. But outside of that, Ayuk wants to jump over everybody. Like think playing basketball. Like Brandon, you're gonna get killed.
I'd still take him over Rager.
No, me too. But then the running game's a bunch of just me and you because obviously Kyle's had a great running scheme, even though he didn't want to show it in the Super Bowl. So here you are. So I will never fucking say anything good about Kyle Shanahan coach football teams besides some players on there. And Jimmy G stinks.
I 100% agree, Tom. I've been out on San Fran all year. I saw them as a team that they kind of remind me of what we were over 2 years after.
Yeah, George is pretty good too. Sorry, Jimmy. George is pretty good too. I forgot about George.
Kittle's a pimp.
But
yeah. They remind me of what we were after the Super Bowl. They just got plagued with injuries. They got in over their heads, and they thought they were the smartest guy in the room after they traded DeForest Buckner.
So I'm guessing.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. How'd that work out?
Yeah,
right.
That didn't work
arguably the second best defensive tackle in football.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he is. Aaron Donald's DeForest Buckner. Yeah.
Yeah. And depending on the day, I can make a case for DeForest being the best.
Yeah. Yeah, they think they're the smartest guys in the room, and they're nothing but a 500 football team at best. And Trey Lance isn't taking them anywhere. Go ahead, Brian.
I just can't wait for him to stink out loud too. I'm just waiting for that one too. It's like another told you so to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm in told you so mood this time of year now. After you get through the holidays, after we're through the holidays, I'm in major tell you so. I told you so mode, right? And I'm gonna be nice to people no more after the holidays. And you just then you get ruthless on your sports stuff. And you get ruthless with your buddies. So I love doing this. You start sending texts out. Told you.
Brown, are you okay, Brown? Are you all right? You okay? What are you talking about?
I don't think I've ever seen George Kittle drop a football.
No,
ever.
Let's stop. Dallas Goedert, in his first opportunity to be a starter, has played extremely well. Now,
he's very good. He's very good.
I don't know how old George Kittle is off the top of my head.
26?
Yeah, he's
26.
The only problem with him is his injuries, but
yeah, I mean his injuries is his only question mark. So
they have similar. I know, but it's similar styles.
They're both physical and big.
Yeah.
They both block extremely well. Why both teams have a really good running game, right? Because guess what? We want to talk about that too. Why we're here? Because and I love Zach Ertz. But I mean, this shows you that a tight end that can block like that. You never have to. You never expose yourself when you're running. Makes sense. You never. There's never that oh, look, they're running the ball right now. Good, look who's in the game. Never happens, right? Because you can do it off of everything. So all your play designs, all your whole play sheet, nothing changes, right? Nothing changes with a guy like Kittle and Dallas Goedert and a guy like Travis Kelce. Those two-way tight ends they're a special breed because it's hard to find them. It's hard to find guys that want to fucking eat you up, right? And then want to catch balls and then eat you up catching the ball too. Them guys aren't grown on trees, and somehow there's a bunch of them in the league that want to do it. So it's sort of coming back as the running game comes more and more back to the NFL, right? You're starting to see more and more of these tight ends that are two-way guys. Mm-hmm. But I mean, obviously Kittle's better than Goddard, but Goddard's ceiling could be better than Kittle's ceiling, or right there with them.
Yeah. Well, to next question, he says, you all think Dallas could have a better career than Ertz? I would say it's going to be tough. Again, we're not talking about if he's more talented than Ertz. it's going to be tough for him to have more of a better career than him, because with all the things that we were frustrated with Ertz, the fact that he would catch a ball and then fall down like a sack of potatoes, like he was way more consistent than Goddard is. Goddard, but has a lot more, like Goddard, to Tom's point, he's by far not a finished product yet. You know what I'm saying? So like he's going to have the shot, especially given how we gave him the contract within 5 seconds before he did anything. He's going to have plenty of opportunities to be that guy. It's just a matter of, can he show the semblance of consistency, both staying on the field, which he's done a good job of this year for the most part, and also getting rid of the mental mistakes with the drops. Because with all the great plays that Dallas Goedert has with the one-handed grabs, the breaking 70 tackles in a current play, he'll have a couple of those moments where it's like, dude, what are you doing with your caveman hands? What are you doing?
Big moments too. He's dropped the ball in big moments in his tenure in Philadelphia. I think in the beginning of Ertz's career, all the way up until last season, Ertz was a very sure-handed tight, probably the best sure-handed tight end in the league.
Yep.
For maybe 2 seasons consistently. Dallas just drops way too many footballs. Kittle doesn't drop. The key to a great tight end is holding on to the football and blocking. Goddard obviously has one of them, but he drops the ball on it. It's just a matter of consistency. And that's the story. That's the story of this football team.
I may drop this year. I may have that number.
I would have to look that up.
I mean, listen, the guy who really wasn't your everyday starting tight end early on, has 50 grabs for 759 yards and 4 TDs. I think with a quarterback that throws it even more, this guy's a double-digit walking touchdown guy. Okay, that's what I look at when I look at Dallas Goedert. I look at a guy that's going to walk in the double digits. Zach Ertz didn't walk in the double digit touchdowns here. I think the most he had in a season was 8 here or 9. No, he was consistent for years. That's the difference. You're talking about, I think, 5 years of 70+ receptions, and then the 1 year of 149 per se. Right? It was a the 1 year we had the monster year. So I don't know if he'll ever. You got to put now 6 years of 70+ and 8 touchdowns a year. That's not easy to do. I do think he has that type of career, barring 2 things. One, concussions worry me a little bit with Dallas because this year wasn't his first rodeo with it. And 2 is, can the body withstand how physical you play?
I also think it's quarterback play. Because we look at what Mark Andrews is doing with the Ravens, and we're basically similar carbon copies of the Ravens offense. And the Ravens actively go for Mark Andrews 10 to 15 targets a game. And Dallas just doesn't get that volume, whether it's he's not the read on a certain play, whether it's Jalen just doesn't see him. It just goes down to that. Now, if he were to get the volume of targets that Mark Andrews gets, maybe he's catching 8 to 10 footballs a game. But it's going to.
How many people jerked off to that response yesterday? By the way, while we're on the wide open, I can't take people out there. Like, people actually believe what came out of not only the coach's mouth. I mean, Jalen just threw a bunch of fucking crazy words at you, and we all salivated. Like Xavier McKinney, they were running a 22 fucking shell piece nugget, and the other guy ran through with fucking barbecue sauce and blah 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 blah. Like he gave you this whole fucking breakdown. It's like, bro, you got a guy running wide open on where that read is, right? Like, that read's to the right side of the field. So your read's already over there. So please don't tell me, Nick, right? I don't want to do this to you when you guys are playing well. Please don't tell me that he wasn't part of the read. Then get him off the fucking field then. Then why is he on the field? Everybody on the field is part of a read. I get what they're saying. I understand it that some guys are your major check down. The guy's running a fucking corner to the back of the end zone. He's always part of a fucking read.
Well, exactly. Like,
your fucking biggest target, and he's running to the corner of the end zone. That's always a read. So then I need to readjust your reads. We all need to sit down and talk about how you go through your reads in the red zone then, if your biggest target ain't part of your progression.
People were praising him this morning on like Jalen Hurts. There's like a 2-minute clip from his press conference. And again, like, we're not doing this because like we're targeting Jalen. It's because it's crazy how everyone needs to like take things above and beyond what they actually are. Everyone be like, oh, well, people.
It's like presidential speak. It's like politics, right?
Thank
like,
you.
It's what it becomes.
Like, at the end of the day, like, people were like, oh, well, see, anyone who thinks they should have thrown it to Dallas Goedert, they don't know football. So are you telling me and I'm not even going to bring up like, oh, if it was Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. If a human being saw their wide open receiver in the end zone, are you telling me it was a good decision to not throw to him because he wasn't in the plan? That in Jalen Hurts' mind, he said, oh, there's a wide open touchdown, but because he wasn't on the list, of guys to throw to, I'm not going to do that because I'll get in trouble. Are we crazy? What are you doing?
Well, he's like, oh, they wanted me to get the ball out of my hand quick, and I get that.
Yes.
But it's like, okay, well, how are we developing him if we're just yelling at him to get the ball out, get the ball out, get the ball out, get the ball out?
He rolls out of the pocket every other 5 seconds. He extends plays then. So, like,
maybe he wasn't wide open. Because, listen, I hate still shots down there. Because you got everybody to understand, as soon as the guy sees him start to deliver, this game's so fast that guys then roll off of guys. So, in the moment when he read Quez, okay, he might have not been wide open in that moment. I understand that. That's not my debate here. My debate is don't tell me he ain't a fucking read. That's my debate. Do not tell me that my biggest target and my biggest red zone threat is not a read. Okay? Because, like, right, we talked about the last week, like, everything's so fast that there is certain still shots that can tell an image, that can tell a story. And there's other ones that can, like, you know, like we talked about Devontae joking yesterday. Are these ones good? Yeah, because they're showing an image of feet down, night. And there's other ones like this one that he might have not been wide open when that ball was getting ready to be released, right?
Yep.
Maybe not. But don't tell me he's not in your reads, please, because that's a cop-out. Just say the ball was coming out of my hands already. Because they talked at walking to the sideline. And you saw Jalen sort of say to him, like in a way, like, I was getting that out. Like, I didn't see it because I was getting it out. So, like, I'm not here to, like, listen, it looked egregious in the moment. Like, how do you not see him? I get it. But he was also looking right at Quez on that because Quez had to sort of sit down in that little coverage they had there. And if he sits down better, that might be a touchdown. Because there was, if you look at a still shot of that, there was a little space on that throw. Right? Relook at it again. So it's not like this egregious ball that's fucking Watergate 2.0, right? And we gotta fucking be all fucking political with the fucking question, Nick, okay? And be like, well, it wasn't part of his fucking read. Shut the fuck up, all right? Because if Dale Goddard's not part of our reads down there, I'm firing everybody today. We don't even got to talk about successful seasons anymore. I'll start getting rid of everybody.
Just play with 10 guys on the field if one of your eligible guys isn't a read. It's just that simple.
Imagine that, though? Could you imagine that? Like, somewhere else? Like, let me just think. Let's go to Tampa. Let's go down to Tampa, right? And then Bruce Arians try to jerk me off after the game, right? And tell me that Mike Evans just ain't a read down there. Mike is not a read. Wasn't a read on that play. Excuse me?
Yeah, that's bad. And the people that are actually like making it something that it shouldn't be, you could just tell that they have narrative written all over them.
They were praising him. This morning. I'm like, what? It's a cop-out answer. Why? Because he talked for 2 minutes? By the way, to answer your question, Tom, this is via A2D statistician Frank Vespi. Five drops for Dallas Goedert this season.
Okay.
He had 1 in 2018, 5 in 2019, 1 last season, and 5 this season.
Yeah, I'm not like it. That doesn't.
That seems low. That seems lower than I actually thought.
I'm not like as worried about him. I think he's pretty sure-handed. Guys are gonna fucking take their eyes off the ball times, right? I mean, if it was like 8, like 5, like okay, I feel like you didn't even do it.
Well, you know what I think it is.
He did drop some big
moments.
ones.
Big moments.
I think it's an example. Not that he has bad hands, but it's that he's already thinking about like the next move in the play.
He's thinking about hitting somebody when he thinks about securing the ball. Yeah, I hear you.
Thinking ahead. I don't think it's just because he's got like Rager hands. I think it's just, hey, he's looking for the next. He's looking ahead now. It's like, hey, just get the ball in the hands, and then we can focus on.
Yeah, right. You're right. He's not like Rager hands, even though like I think Rager hands sometimes he's thinking about making plays. All these guys, I feel like anytime these guys drop balls, really at the NFL level, it's always the same conversation. It's always looking to make a play too fast.
Well, I don't think that's Rager because he dropped 2 touchdowns. You can't do anything once.
Well, he's still worried about something, Jimmy. You know he's worried about? He's worried about the fucking defensive back about to take his head off. So he's worried about something.
You're both wrong. He's worried about his next tweet. He's worried about all of his Instagram stories.
As the ball's coming down, he's thinking, "Oh, this is going to be a great picture when I catch this ball for a game."
Should I use the smiley emoji or should I use the fire emoji?
Yeah, I don't know.
But either way, I think for a guy like Goddard, he's definitely looking to inflict pain on you. So he's already looking to get off field and lower shoulders. Like I'll give him a pass for 5. I'd rather listen. I could do without seeing anymore. The rest of the year though.
I just don't like the big moment drops because 2019, those 5 drops, I feel like 3 of them were either game-winning or game-tying touchdowns. But that was every single receiver in 2019.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the entire.
We talk about JJ, we talk about Nelson. You had some huge drops in 2019 that were either game-tying or game-winning touchdowns. And
that's why I wasn't sure about them.
Yeah, Marquise, thank you. I was going to bring that up to you guys as far as this week. Is this like Matt Rule? Like, what are we talking about? I read that too. He said that Heineke's going to start, but Allen's going to play. What do we got? Committees now?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
I think the Redskins are just down bad. I think Ron's doing everything he can to try and keep the team afloat, but they're pretty much done, and he's just going to try and do whatever he can to try and make the football team win the game.
Yeah, and I think they're looking, right? I mean, they got a lot of decisions to make, moving into next year on what direction they're going to go, right? This is for the people out there that want to fucking jerk me off about, right, and try to tell me, right, jerk me off and tell me you love me, okay? And tell me that we'll build your team up and then worry about the quarterback. Okay, buyer beware of that one. Beware of that one. All right. How about you do it all at once, okay? And knock off the but you know what? Build the fucking team up. Quarterbacks don't matter. Like they're easy to fucking find. That's the hardest thing to find. So get your quarterback, then build your team up. This is why this year is so important for Jalen Hurts. You understand me? This is why I yelled and screamed about this year being so important for us to have some idea, right? Because I want to be able to build a team around him, but I'm not just going to do it, right? Just to do it. Like if I don't think he's good enough, right? He's got to at least show me enough for me to say, let's build a team around him, right? You guys know what I'm saying? Because if not, you're Washington, right? You're Denver. I mean, you're Carolina, okay? But you're these teams that don't have a quarterback but have all these other nice things. Well, what is that? How's that proven to work out for them?
Calvin, stop it. What are you talking about, Calvin?
And this is what drives me insane, and this is why people think I have an agenda against Jalen Hurts. It's just ridiculous. Can the guy give me 2 consistent games before we crown him Russell Wilson 2.0, please? Please?
Well, he's probably better than Russell Wilson right now. So,
yeah, Tom. I'm glad you and I don't know where you stood on this, Jimmy, throughout the year, but I'm glad, Tom, you and I were really never like, oh, we got to like tank for Wilson or we got to go out and trade 3 picks for Wilson. We were really never on that.
No, I love Russ, but
I love him, but like
his hand's not the same right now. And
I've been all over Aaron Rodgers all year. It's just a pipe dream, but I haven't really been on any. I haven't been on Watson. I haven't been on Russ.
Well, you better get on the guy that's here. You better get on the guy that's here.
And like you said,
I don't know what to tell you. I'm in the same boat as you, but you gotta get. Don't be Todd. Don't be Todd. Everybody know Todd Schnitzler. Don't be Todd Schnitzler. Right, an ATD member, great guy Todd is, diehard Eagles fan, but he can't let it go. He can't let the other guy go. And this is where you're at, Jimmy.
I'm not thinking about the other guy right now.
Don't you lie to me.
I just need to see 2 consistent games from him in a row. In a row. Like you said, if we don't make this play, if we don't win these next 2 games, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's because Jalen Hurts couldn't make the throw down the field and he left plays on the football field. I don't think Sirianni's going to revert back to passing. I don't think, Jonathan Gannon can cost us the game. But if we're talking strictly offense, it's going to be more on Hurts rather than Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I disagree with one part of that. I think if we have a situation where we don't have Jordan and Miles this week, I could see Sirianni being dumb enough to revert back to passing.
Then offensive line coach, I forget, Jeff Stoutland.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have to get into Sirianni's ear and tell him, look, just stick with the game plan. He could do the first possession with the 3 passes in a row. I don't care. It matters how you finish the game. And if Jeff Stoutland gets into his ear and says, we could still run this football with Boston, we could still run this football with Kenny, I think Sirianni is humble enough to listen to Jeff Stoutland and go back to his ways. Because that's what he did in the second half of the game.
Remember something too, though. And we all got to remember it as well. You got to throw the ball enough. I mean, you're not going to hand it not to you guys. You're not going to hand it 5 times a game. So you got to be able to throw it. So when I throw it, how I throw it, doesn't really matter. Yesterday, they just tried to come out and they tried to get him in a rhythm early. And to me, this isn't on Jalen. There were some bad throws, but there was also some balls that need to be completed and maybe keep drives going and extend drives and get them into a rhythm, right? I mean, at the end of the day, he still is a young quarterback, and it'd be nice to get him in a rhythm, and they tried to yesterday. So, I don't want to crush him. Actually, that's a game where I say to myself, you know what? I'm playing against Jake fucking Fromm. I can try to get my young quarterback, into a rhythm here because I think my defense, no matter how it goes, is going to keep me in it. Now, guess what? If Dallas catches the one ball on the first drive, that interception ball doesn't even come into play, right? Mm-hmm. So that never happens. So we got to, I'm not taking that away, right? Because that was a terrible decision on third down. But if Dallas catches the ball early, this is where, those kinds of things can spiral into a turnover, right? Mm-hmm. Or an almost turnover, right? Because this team's got to do those things right. They have to. So, I don't have a major problem with them saying, hey, I want to throw the ball a little bit. But when it's not working, you got to be able, like you guys said, you got to be able to go. You got to be able to go to your bread and butter.
I do think, and again, I'm predicting the Eagles to win. I will go back to what we talked about, Tom, before the first week we played the Giants. I know it looks really bad for Washington right now. It looks really bad, especially they're talking about quarterback committees with two guys. I don't know if they can play quarterback. But just beware of the broken team. And I get it. It looks like their playoff hopes are all but over. I don't know if they've officially been eliminated, but they look lost. But before we go back, not us, but the people at home go back into, we're gonna blow this team out by 40, and would we rather face the Bucs or the Rams in 2 weeks? Let's just win the friggin' football game first. Let's clinch it before we look ahead too much. Especially when we don't have, who I believe, and some people might disagree with this, I think Jordan Howard is the glue of this football team. That's not a shot at Miles or anybody else, but I think if you're going to be without him, I think it's going to be a little concerning.
Yeah, and I saw people talking about Kerryon Johnson. I was thinking about him as well. If Howard's out for a significant time, I would try and steal him off a practice squad. I don't know what practice squad he's on right now.
49ers.
Yeah, I would try and pick him off.
Did I say that too quick? I'm a Kerryon Johnson guy.
Yeah, I would try and pick him off and say, look, you could take Jordan's role if anything were to happen to Kenny or Boston. But I don't know. I do like Jay Love's comment saying that he doesn't want a quarterback that has to rely on the run game. And if you can't, then you got to use your arm. And if you can't use your arm, you're not going to win football games. I agree with that 100%. We have still yet to see Jalen Hurts win a football game with his arm. We have seen one game-winning drive from him, and that was against Carolina out of how many starts that he's had. And like people have said, Washington has played us tough. No matter how bad they've been, they have played us tough in their home stadium. Now, if it comes down to one of those games where Jalen has to lead us down the field for a last drive touchdown, game-winning touchdown, and he does it, I would crown him as next year's starter, because then you go into Dallas with a lot of momentum and you're almost maybe the favorites then at home in week 18, because Dallas isn't really playing for anything. But I need to see Jalen win a football game with his arm before I crown him with anything. Well, and I don't think he's yet to do that.
I mean,
two games come to mind. It's tough.
It's such in the middle with this. Like, I thought last week he threw the ball really well. Against Washington.
I think he did too, but
I thought he had a few okay throws, a few good balls this past week, but
it's just consistency.
Well, it is.
I think he won the game, and this seems like it's 10 years ago, but I think you could argue he won against the Falcons in week 1 with his arm.
I think that was just an overall team performance. I think nobody was expecting us to come out that way, and we won in every single phase, offense, defense, and special teams. And Jalen was just there delivering the ball where it needed to go. That's what I was saying in the beginning of the season. Sirianni was scheming the perfect plays for Jalen Hurts. And
okay, so we're 8-2. Obviously, you guys know this, but we're 8-2. I don't want to interrupt that, but I want to tie it into that. 8-2 against non-playoff teams, and 0-5 this year against playoff teams. So if you want to see something, Jimmy, and the likes, Rye, myself, right? If we want to see something to have that confidence moving forward, it's to beat a playoff team, right? And maybe that's in the playoffs. So, like, I don't care him fucking throwing or not, right? If I go in and I win in the postseason this year and I win a game, he's back and I feel comfortable. That's simple. That's like simple math for me. I don't care if he fucking throws the ball 8 times in that game. It's simple math for me.
Yeah. You got to win against teams that are good.
He's my quarterback for the next 2 years. Done and done.
Yeah.
Done and done. It's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? I don't have to like it, but if he goes and wins a playoff game this year, somehow he's the quarterback for a team that won a playoff game. Come on, boys. He's the quarterback for the next year minimum year, probably 2.
Yeah, but if
agree or disagree.
If we don't get past the first round next year and we made it to the playoffs this year, then he's not my quarterback.
If he plays well in these next 2 weeks, we win a playoff game. I'm not saying I would do it. How surprised would you be if Howie gets a checkbook? And I'm not saying like Dak Prescott money before people go crazy.
He wouldn't need to.
Because
he's got it for another 2 years under contract.
Is it 2? Okay.
Yeah, it's 4, right?
Yeah, because this is year 2. Okay. I'm just saying that in the assumption because we know Howie loves doing it like a year and a half too early.
Yeah, well, that would be something he could do the next year.
Yeah.
Early.
Like mid-season if we're like 6-2 or something.
I'm just saying, guys, because you don't have to pay him. For the people out there to tell me like, oh, you want him to be your guy forever? That's not what I said. I just said for the next 2 years, you don't have to pay him. So if he gets you to the postseason and you win, it's just common sense. It's common sense.
Oh, I want him to be the guy just obviously for the reasons you stated, Tom, but just selfishly, I want an offseason where we're not talking about the damn quarterback for once. I know it's never going to happen because it's Philadelphia and we'll invent some way. There'll be some kind of rumor on a Sunday morning. We won the play. We won a playoff game and it's still going to be, Russell Wilson names Eagles as one of the 3 teams he would like to go to. And then the entire city will go crazy for a week. But aside from all the reasons that Tom said, I just want an offseason where we're talking about, like, can we talk defense? Can we talk about, like, hey, building around a quarterback instead of replacing one? That'd be nice. That'd be a change of pace.
How about building around a linebacker on the defensive side?
Let's not get crazy.
Can we talk about that?
Let's not get crazy.
And I love Jake's point right here. Every game we try to let him throw the ball, the fans end up yelling at the coach to run the ball.
I said that a couple weeks ago. I said, it's wild. And again, I will ignore it when we're winning. But it's wild that when the quarterback throws, we have a portion of this fan base, justifiably so, getting kind of concerned. It's like I've never seen like a bulk of the fan base think it's okay to ask the quarterback not to throw the football and then praise him like he's, Russell Wilson 2.0, for example.
Yeah.
You guys want to give?
Sorry, not true.
Yeah, no, you're fine. What is this? Yes, but this offseason is the only time you are ever going to have the ammo to get a true franchise guy. You will not win a Super Bowl without a guy who can't pass the ball.
Well, we're going to find out if he can pass the ball.
I mean, I still think it's just. I don't think he's going to be able to pass the ball, Tom. It's been the same issue since Alabama. That's why he had to transfer.
That's one of the many reasons why I don't think we're using all 3 of these first-round picks, ladies and gentlemen. Because I think we're going to put one back as an insurance policy in case we might need one in a couple of years or next year.
But I also think we could win football. I think we could win meaningful football games if we get a solid defense. And we just keep running just running through people's defenses. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Hurts can be an excellent system quarterback in that type of system. A great defense and a great running game.
Jimmy, I said this to Tom like 6 weeks ago, and I know it sounds crazy for a team that they stink right now, but it's mostly because of the quarterback and because of injuries. If I'm Howie Roseman, I'm trying to model this roster structure after the Cleveland Browns. A great or to above average running game with a very exciting young defense.
Mm-hmm.
But they're showing you got to be able to throw the ball enough.
Yep. Or at least don't make the mistakes that Mayfield's making. You know what I'm saying? Like
Ravens show you the same thing, essentially. He did a better job before he got banged up this year.
Yeah.
Of throwing the ball better because he got better at it, right? And listen, this is the trust I want to put into Jalen Hurts. Okay, this is the trust I want to put in. Have I seen him make some strides this year? A little bit, yes, I have. Right, I thought in that Washington game he made strides.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I'm not going to let my eyes lie to me on this one because of how I felt draft night. Right. I also don't want to run from the fact that again everybody does it in the Big 12. But he threw the ball well at Oklahoma too. Like it's not like he didn't. It's not like he didn't. He didn't throw the ball at Bama like that. But he did throw the ball at Oklahoma. He became more of that dual threat guy, right? He became more of it because it was an offense more conducive for that. Make sense, right?
Yeah,
makes sense. And he did have some players there. I mean, he did have a guy like CeeDee Lamb to throw the football to there, and he had playmakers as well. So I just don't want to say that like he can't continue to grow throwing the football. Like he can, because the game will continue to slow down for him. And I think it has to a point. Right? I think it has. So like listen, if he gets in and he can continue to show his growth, not only can you win with that formula, of course, because that's easier for every quarterback, but he can grow with that formula. Right? There's the other side of it too. It allows him the growth. Right, boys? Because if you're winning games, it allows growth. Mm-hmm. Makes sense? We all agree there, because him winning games right now is essentially allowing another year. Right? And then I would expect next year that he really jumps from some of the things that I needed him to do well, right? Stay in the pocket, deliver throws, right? But the bigger side, and something he started to do better the last 2 weeks, is he's making throws on the run now. He's getting those big plays on the run. Mm-hmm. Right? Devontae Smith touchdown. I know it's a 10-yard pass, but that's still a big play, mm-hmm. right? While on the run. And that's something he wasn't doing a ton of, which would concern me, because part of like Don apologizing to me for them making the playoffs was my whole thought process. And I'm wrong plenty. So this isn't me crowning anything. This is me just stating what we all needed to happen, right? And then we're going to move on from our Eagles. But unless you guys got other things to say, then feel free. But this is what I need him to do. I expected him to be able to make plays outside the pocket that can be big chunk plays, right? And us being able to run the football like we do. So they're the things that for us to continue to win and play good football the last 2 games, he has to do.
I'll read you guys this tweet. I think this is a perfect way to finish off the Eagles stuff, unless you have anything, Jimmy. And it's a great point. It's like a perfect full circle from what we talked about at the very beginning. And again, now participation trophies, we want to finish it off. We want to get in the playoffs, but it just shows. So this is from at Philly Nation on Twitter. They say, a year ago today, the Eagles were a dumpster fire with a $128 million quarterback we knew didn't want to be here and a black hole of a future. Today, we have a 23-year-old likely Pro Bowl quarterback, a true wide receiver 1, an elite tight end, Nick Sirianni, 3 first-rounders, and $50 million plus in cap space.
That's why I'm saying if he gets us into the playoffs,
best trade you ever could make. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And you all ain't gonna like me. That's what I'm saying. You had to. You had to cut. You had to cut it off. You had to take the nipple out the baby's mouth. That's what you did. You ripped the nipple out, and you said, "You know what? We're just going to move on because this isn't working.
Disagree.
It isn't working." And I didn't want Doug fired. I didn't want Carson gone. So hear me out. Hear me out. I didn't want any of that. I didn't want any of that stuff, Jimmy. I didn't. And you know that. Ryan knows that. I didn't want it.
We wanted quarterback. Tom, you and I were preaching, hey, play them both. Play them both.
So I didn't want the guy going. But here we are, and if you look at it, it was essentially the right decision. Right now. It looks to be like the right decision.
That's what happens when a quarterback cheats, Jimmy. Went to Tinder in week 18, week 17. Not good.
Listen, he showed me something that I didn't like to see out of my franchise quarterback.
Softness.
It's not even that.
It's just the type of personality he is. He's not going to change his personality. Like if we're talking strict
I don't need him to change personality.
What's
I need
his
him to change.
personality? Hold on. Because I got to know this because you're a competitor. I seen you play sports. So I know that you're a competitor enough. So you tell me what your personality is. If somebody is there and you think is there to replace you, what's your personality? Because the whole thing's based on replacing you.
I'm going to play as hard as I could. But that's the thing. I think he played as hard as he could last year. There was just nothing around him.
I agree with that side of it. I agree with it. I'm not blaming all Carson for last year, but it's also hard to come back from that. That's the point in my argument here.
Yeah.
It's hard to come back when everything around you is failing. It's hard to because then you fail.
I hear you. And
So
also,
the best thing for him to get him right was exactly where he went. Because if he wasn't going to rebound his career there, he wouldn't anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So credit to Carson, credit for rebounding his career. But for us, it's a no-brainer. Even if you fucking miss on the pick. And then Ryan's point, I don't think they're stocking it away for that big deal, which I didn't even think of, which is another reasonable scenario too, is they're not going to draft 3 first-round picks and have to pay them all at the same time. That's not going to happen.
That's nightmare fuel for Howie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Have you guys first time coming here? This is your first time here in Philly? But the guy's smarter than that. And as he should be, right? There's a reason we got $50 million under the cap next year. Right? That's the thing he does extremely well. I got no problem. I don't need to make 3 first-round picks. 2 works for me too. Right? 2 works for me. Then I know I'll have 2 the following year too. That means I'm constantly set up. I'm constantly set up in a good position. So let's fucking go. Evan, let's fucking go, Ev. Let's fucking go. I'll lose next week, and then I'll totally change my stance.
That is such a great profile picture, Evan.
It is, Ev, and he's not there yet. He's not at next year yet. He's got some more stuff to take care of.
The statue killed him, though. That statue is probably the stupidest thing this franchise could have done.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I'm
Jimmy's
right with
not gonna let
There's
this
just
go.
Jimmy's
not gonna let it go.
so many different toppings that they put on this ice cream sundae that just ruined it. Absolutely ruined it. But it's fine.
Well,
It is what it is.
In their defense, what are they supposed to do?
Not draft a quarterback in the second round when you had to build on the offensive line, when you had to build on the defense.
Well, what happened the year before?
The year before, he took them to the playoffs.
And then what happened?
He got his head spiked into the ground.
Okay, and then what did they have to go to?
Side quarterback.
No.
Side of backup quarterback.
We know.
Don't overdraft one in the second round.
There's videos of me on YouTube fucking viral after the draft pick of Jalen Hurts, okay? I get it. I get it. But now I look back on it. How he came out and was honest with us on why he did it. Right? The guy's never honest. I feel like he's the first time he's ever honest. Like, hey, we weren't drafting him to replace him. We were drafting him as an insurance policy. Right? Make sense? So we were drafting him as an insurance policy. They never expected it to come to that, where he was going to play that bad. Yeah. They didn't expect it because they just signed him. So Jimmy, listen, the pick makes no sense when you have all those other holes, right? Right? But did we have all those other holes, though? Looking back on it, a little bit, right? We need some other things. A little bit.
Jeremy Chin. I would have loved the linebacker from Cincinnati.
Okay, Packers didn't have holes, and they went first fucking round.
Quarterbacks of all time, and Devontae Adams.
But they went fucking quarterback the first overall, the first round pick.
Trade up to get him. Trade up to get him. Trade up to get him.
Did Brady go running when the freaking Tippa took Trask this year? He's a goddamn Heisman finalist. Did he go running?
No, Brady knows he stinks. Brady knows he stinks.
And he has all pro talent around him. They didn't really need nothing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Tom. There was nothing. There was nothing else to add to that roster.
There was nothing around Carson Wentz last year. But, I'm 100% on board with that and agree with that. All I'm saying to you is, before it started, he was already looking over his shoulder. Mm-hmm. Okay, and part of that is him looking over his shoulder with Nick. But part of it is, Jimmy, he was never going to be that successful here anymore. Because it became too much.
I hear you.
So what I'm saying, the best thing for our franchise was saying, okay, we can get out of this deal, right? We're going to get hit this year with it, but we can get out of it, and we get a first back, no-brainer, have to do it, and they didn't expect to not only do that, but have a chance to be a playoff team. This goes back to the success conversation, all right? fucking absolutely big time fucking success for this team to go to the postseason. If they go. Huge success on everything that transpired.
Tom,
J-Love, I love you guys. I'm a Carson guy. You guys know this. But how's it disrespectful? The guy fucking went toe-to-toe with the greatest quarterback of all time. If anything, those dudes are boys. Carson and Nick are boys. Like, this is what we never talk about. They're boys. It ain't this hatred. You think Carson gives a fuck about the statue?
I think what sticks with all of us is that he did the exact thing that he should not have done. Like, listen, you want to be pissed off at the organization? Cool. I get it. We were pissed off too. It's on camera. It's on camera forever. It's about he got really insecure. He got in his feelings and he hid. I think we would have respected it if he went to Twitter or the press conference and wanted taking shots at the organization or the fan base. We wouldn't have liked it because we don't like it when anybody does. But you did the one. It's like you followed the handbook of what not to do. Instead of being a problem
with him wanting out, Ryan, right?
No, zero issue.
I want you to fucking want out, and then I want you to put your balls on fucking Howie's face. You understand what I want? You understand what I fucking want? I want you to shove it so far up his fucking ass that he can't walk straight for fucking years. Okay, that's what I want. But you did the opposite. All right, you instead of carrying your football team like you've shown you've been able to do. Hear me out, Jimmy. Which he's shown he's been able to do it less. He fucking played the worst football of his career.
But Greg, all right, I don't know.
He played the worst football of his. Come on,
the talent around him was the worst in the NFL. Like, I don't know.
I agree to a point, but
there's only so much more guy can do.
Come on, he wasn't even adequate.
He was the worst quarterback in the NFL.
He was the worst quarterback in the NFL. I said it countless times before I came on to A2D. He played the worst quarterback. He played the worst football I've ever seen from a quarterback play. But what was around him is undeniable, and that's what people are blind to see. That's what the Hurts agendaists are blind to see. And then they're using the same excuse for Jalen Hurts that I was saying for Carson Wentz for 2 years. And it just drives me up a wall. And then when it comes to you need to have heart and toughness to play in the city of Philadelphia, the bottom line is talent wins you Super Bowls, not heart and toughness. That's why we have one Super Bowl. Talent.
We were getting here with you.
Talent wins you Super Bowls, not heart and toughness.
Tom, we tried. Tom.
I tried my best to stay out of it too. I'm sorry.
No, it's fun. I don't care. Keys, super chat. Wait a minute. Didn't Hurts run from Alabama? I see people in the chat talking about how Hurts is this man that handled adversity better. Did he though? Because I don't think he ran from Alabama. I think he went where he knew he was going to start. Right? I mean, that became to his job.
Okay, and Carson went to where he knew he wasn't going to start here anymore.
That's not true. That's not true.
No. First off, let me say two things. That never was factual that he wasn't going to start here anymore. Okay, never came in when you're paying a guy. Jimmy, $129 million. He was starting this year if he was here. Let me clarify for the room. Okay, I got no problem with Carson saying I'm done with Philadelphia. I'm done with Howie Roseman. I don't care about that. I care about what transpired in 2020. That's what I care about. Because he had an opportunity to prove to everybody that guy's going to sit there for a minute and he couldn't have played any worse. Like if you told me that was going to be the way he played last year, I would have told you you're a fucking liar. That he would have put his balls on Howie's chin. Right. And he didn't.
And he maybe would have been the starter to start week 1, but the second he threw an interception, the dial would have been all over him, the fans would have been all over him, and it would have been Jalen Hurts' job by October 1st.
But we did the same thing with Hurts and Minshew. It's what we do. It's what we always do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were doing the same thing in 2017. We wanted to go to Sudfeld when Nick Foles was struggling against the Raiders. It's what we do, Jimmy.
I love Carson Wentz. I love what he helped bring this city, which was a Super Bowl. Okay, he had his handprints all over that. All right, he's a worker. He's a competitor. We know the stories. All right, I'm not going to tell anybody this organization did him any favors. Okay, but they did him a big favor. You know what that was? Somebody riddled me the favor they fucking did for him. Well, before we talk about this franchise not doing anything for Carson. I got 129 million things they did for him. 129 million fucking things they did for him. So I don't want to hear people with this whole like they ruined them. They ruined Carson. It was them. Okay. What? They paid for your family forever. You're taken care of forever. They committed you money-wise forever.
So why didn't you build around him after that? Why did you have to draft a quarterback?
Nate, I didn't say it was healthy to do, Nate.
Because that guy got hurt and cost you a playoff win.
Did he cost you a playoff win, or did lack of drafting cost you a playoff win? Because if you have DK Metcalf not putting your balls all over your chin in that same playoff game, we don't got to worry about that.
To be fair, Jadeveon Clowney cost us that playoff win.
And DK Metcalf.
Well, anyway, yeah, he was good. And Nate, I'm not
saying an Eagles jersey.
Nate, I'm not saying that we do want to do it. I'm just saying that's what it is. So use your brain, bruh. Hey, bruh. Just call me bro. Don't call me bruh.
What did Nate say?
He was saying, I was saying it's what Philadelphia does. We always talk about the backup quarterback. I didn't say it's a good thing we do it. I'm just saying we do it.
Yeah.
No, it's something that's going on here for a while, but it goes on in every city.
Yes. Welcome to sports, Nate. Happy to have you.
But no, what I'm saying is they did the fan base, Jay, did them dirty a little bit, right? Like I get all that, right? I feel like I got my fingers on the pulse of this fucking city pretty well. Not to you, Jay, to the people out there that are new here. I feel like my pulse is pretty good when it comes to what goes on because of these shows we do. Simple as that, because we see it. So I completely agree with you because I used to throw my head through walls. Crumb of the day was the Folesian Society, and I love Nick. You understand that? And then people thought I hated Nick. I love Nick. Are you kidding me? Right? I love Nick. But people wanted to make it out like you had to like one or the other when that's not the case. Because them two both loved each other. But at the end of the day, around him, I get they didn't filter in enough. All right? After the years where they had talent around him. Okay? But don't tell me nobody that they didn't show him any commitment. All right, they literally got on the knee and gave him the ring, which is $129 million that Dan Orlovsky tried telling me that they never did. All right, that's what Dan tried telling us on A2D. Danny, I love Dan, but he tried telling us that it's like, he goes, it's like, what did he say? It's like getting married.
I'll read it.
But your wife's never, but your significant other shows you no love ever, or they're never around, or something like that, right?
Jesus.
Like, not the case, right? This isn't the same kind of situation. They showed him plenty of love by the $129 million. They're covering their ass from Josh McCown. And if they ran in the position again, they wanted to go back to the playoffs. You understand? Everybody understand this? So they drafted the guy as a legit backup to maybe learn under him, maybe for trade bait down the line, right? But I don't think they ever drafted him with the intention of him playing over Carson Wentz. They didn't. They did it. And I'll fucking kill Howie. You understand this, guys? Ryan's not going to with me. I'll smoke Howie.
Do you want me to read the Dan Orlovsky message? I have it.
Yeah. Because this is on Instagram. I crumbed it. Well, no, I think, was this when I crumbed Dan?
Yes. And he said, Hey man, respectfully, 1, I didn't just make it up. 2, are you married? Honest question. Because you crumb of the day to him for something with Carson. I forget what the video was.
Yeah, because he was saying that. He was saying that. Like they didn't show him enough. They showed him 129 million fucking reasons. Stop it.
So
that's up to you to go show.
And then they cheated on him.
How did they cheat? The first round would equal a cheat. They didn't even cheat. They semi-did. Dude, it was like, it wasn't even the tip.
It was lucky, no touchy.
It's like a fucking window shop.
No, they were liking some photos on Instagram, Jimmy. It was innocent. They didn't do anything wrong.
They went to the strip club.
Yeah, they were just there. They were supporting a friend. I can't.
But they're doing the same thing with Gardner right now.
J-Love, I agree with that. Knowing your QB's personality. But once I know my QB has a low emotional intelligence, or once I know my QB personality is a little sensitive, then maybe it's time to move on.
This is what Dan had to say. He says, I hear you. I'd say this in regards to the contract. I'm married as well. My wife has a nice ring, but at the end of the day, she wants to know I love her. I got to show her all the time. I'm sure the same for you. That's what it's like with quarterbacks and deals and all. Sure, the money is nice, but you got to show them love, not just with a check. Quarterbacks are just like that. Carson has to certainly grow and get thicker skin and a stronger mind, but I know for a fact that's believed how he feels.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell Dan. This is my response back to Dan because I love Dan, and he's talking as a quarterback. I get it. I understand it's the most prima donna position in sports all of a sudden, right? It's the most prima donna position in sports for some reason. Okay. And the most important, right? So you know what every NFL team should do? Don't even carry backups anymore. Don't even carry anybody in that room that can challenge you. Don't make sure you don't. So if a team has a franchise guy, make sure you never draft one ever. Yeah. Fucking ever. And I don't even like the pick, right? But you see where I'm at. I'm a fucking common sense thinker here. Common sense, and you can never draft one then or have one around. God forbid. That'd be like, oh well, they signed Minshew, traded for Minshew, and then Jalen fucking stinking the joint up all year. Well, it's because Gardner everybody was talking about Gardner. That's why. Did you see the Gardner on the lawn with the flowers? That's why, right? Nick knew it was going to be Gardner. That's why he talked about flowers. Like, I mean, come on. We can do it all day with everybody around the league.
All right, let me just throw a hypothetical and then we can move on. If we do make it to the first round of the playoffs and Hurts' ankle is a little bummed out and he can't play that game and Gardner wins us that first round playoff game, how is Hurts reacting to that?
Well, first off, I retire because I don't want to see what this city's ever going to be like if that happens. That's going to be freaking chaos.
Well, yeah, it's deja vu.
Yeah.
Okay. I got So
it's deja vu because half the fan base is going to want to stay with Gardner because he just won the game, a playoff game, and then the other half is going to go to Hurts. And then, the dial is going to start some controversy with that.
You're worse than anybody. No. I'm going to stop you now because you want this. You're hypothetical.
I don't want it. I want us to win football games.
We got to do more shows together. We really do. We got to do more shows together because I love you. And you get me wound up, which is good because I need it in my life. You know what I mean? I need it, especially with the Sixers. 17 and 16, right? We need we need some things to get and some conversations and some hypotheticals because I love hypotheticals. But are you kidding me?
Why would you even think that?
Just threw 85% completion percentage with a perfect QBR.
But he's going to do it again. That was against the Jets. He's not going to do that against the Bucs.
I don't care if it's the Jets. Look at what Jalen's doing against the Giants.
I know. I don't think he's that good. We agree.
Into existence. I know
the
exactly
guy is 25 years old and has 4 more starts than Jalen.
You're talking us into existence. I like Gardner. I said I would have just kept riding I would have went. Jimmy, I was right with you. I would have played him the next week to let Jalen's ankle really get better, right? And see what I have. But they decided not to. All right? And that's their decision. But if he wins a playoff game and he looks good doing it, guess who my fucking starter is? Because you're not only winning a playoff game, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to Tampa, you're going to Lambeau, right? You're going to Dallas, okay? You're going to the Rams, right? You ain't just going to some fucking, you ain't just going to like a regular picnic, right, Don? Let's talk about picnics. There's picnics, and then there's when guys are carrying heat at the picnics. And you got a lot of guys that you don't want to see in a dark alley right at your picnic, right? You don't want that. You don't want that. These are a bunch of guys you don't want to see in a dark alley. So if Gardner Minshew goes there and wins, it's the same conversation we would have if Jalen Hurts went there and wins, especially if they look good. Hey, starter, how are you? Where we're at?
You guys want to do member wheel? Ralphie's in the back end before we forget. Yeah. Tom, what are we raffling off again?
Speak of the devil.
Oh.
I just want to be clear. I want to win football games. I don't care who the quarterback is. I'm just giving you my analysis of what's going on this season. I just need Jalen Hurts to be more consistent.
He's backtracking, Tom. Look at him.
Please. Go on.
No, listen. This is what we're here to do. All right? We're here to do. But me and you and Ryan are like we're in the same, the same pew, right? We're sitting in the same pew, whatever the fuck they say. All right? So I understand it. I get it. What Jay Love's saying, what you're saying, like this isn't me disagreeing, like where I'm like, oh my God, you guys are out of control. Like I understand it. But now we're looking back on it, and the one guy went with Frank, and it's not like he's lighting the world on fire. So it's not like it was just like, oh, you traded Aaron Rodgers. Jalen Hurts.
Ralphie, you back there, buddy? Oh, maybe you wanted to get it.
And I say this not knowing if Jalen Hurts is a franchise guy or not, right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Probably leaning more towards no. All right, it's their member wheel, and you become an HUD member, $9.99 a month, get you everything, baby. Become one right now. It's pinned right in our comment section over on YouTube. And if you're not a member, that's fine too. But make sure you're fucking hitting the like and subscribe. All right, be great. All right, don't fucking go into a shell like Carson. Be great. Spin it, Ralphie. God damn it. I've got one spin to do. Probably be Bill.
Is that a person?
Is that real life?
Is this a joke?
Are we being punked?
Dude,
Who's Nick Sirianni's pink highlighter?
I've never seen that person before.
I've never seen that person before either.
No, I feel like I do a lot of shows here. You know what I mean?
How does a pink highlighter become a member? I like that.
All right, we'll spin it again right now because I don't know who the hell that is.
Nobody's making fun of that pink highlighter anymore, though.
Now, Ralphie, come back.
Guy thought his job was done, right? He fucking spun it and got out of there. I got out of there. I don't know who it is.
All right, there he is. There he is.
I feel like I've seen the name, but like not consistently enough to say like I know who that person is.
What, this guy again. Get him out. That guy doesn't exist. We already did this, Ralphie.
What is going, Ralph? What is going?
It's going to be Bill next. Bill, I mean, come on, Ralphie.
He's not allowed to.
Spin gate.
He's not allowed to because we haven't given away any jerseys in a couple weeks.
True.
So since his last time, this is a mess. We're gonna need to go to a new wheel. What? Jim Job? This isn't real.
That's my burner.
Is it your burner?
No.
Oh my god! I mean, fucking Jimmy's burner. Ralph, I'm gonna need you again, Ralph. This is unbelievable.
Ralph got comfortable during the Christmas break. He got comfortable.
Watch it be
I know what I'm gonna do.
Oh my god!
Bobby already won too.
Yeah, Bobby's won. At least we know who that is.
Well, Bobby's not a member anymore, so he shouldn't be on the wheel. I love Bobby, but he's not a member right now. It's only for the members, and I love Bob because he's right there.
And Bobby would probably burn the Jalen Hurts jersey.
I see it, Bob. But no, we can't give it to Bob because he's not a member. Right? But Bobby did win the last time he was a member, though. So, listen, let's do this, okay? I don't know if we're ever going to get a name we want.
Hit it one more time, Ralphie. Hit it one more time, Ralphie.
Hit it one more time.
Oh,
look at, oh,
yeah, give it to this guy. No, give it to him. Give it to him.
No, because he doesn't like him. I'm not going to say he hates him because that's a poor word.
Oh.
No, we're not even giving it to Marcus. I know who I'm giving it to. All right? I already made my decision.
Okay.
Get the fucking wheel out of here. Get her.
You
don't want the Hurts. Remember, I already had to send Bobby a fucking sleigh. Remember? Bobby was custom ordering, right? Because he was anti-Hurts. So I got to be careful who I send it to. Umberto, you are the winner of the Jalen Hurts jersey. I would give it to Keys, right? If I was giving away any different jersey, it would go to Keys or Umberto right now. All right, because they're up for a win. They haven't won anything. I know for a fact they have. You know, right? So I want to give it to a guy that I know has not won. And neither one of them win. So guess what? Umberto, you're getting the Hurts. Keys, are you a Phillies fan? Like a Phillies, like baseball. Let me know. Get back to me. J Love, I fucking love you. You know this. This is why it's A2D. It's agree, disagree. I'm fucking in it I'm in it debating you guys in car rides, right? With the boys, with the family. Before I even read this off, like, you know, make it clear to the people what we do. Like, didn't you all love doing this with your boys? You're driving in the car, you're sitting down somewhere, and you're fucking getting into it. You're getting at it. This is what it's about. It's about the fucking debate. It's about debate and loving guys like they're your fucking family after it, and having no ill will if somebody thinks you're fucking wrong. Because guess what? Newsflash, we're all fucking wrong. All wrong plenty, and all right plenty too. You know what I mean? Like if you're 60% right, you're good. You gooch.
Keys is 4 for 4, by the way.
4 for 4. All right, Keezy. Jimmy is one of my favorites on A2D, Tom. I love Jimmy, by the way, too. He's my number one wide receiver. Not in a sexual way, so I don't want people to start. Because I felt it come out of my mouth, and I wanted to retract it. It's already out. So now I got to clarify, right? You fucking got to do a press release. A little lick. You can't milk a cat, fucker. What the little lick? That might have to be cut like Chromes. Right? That might have to be cut like Chromers.
Like this?
Not even that one. The fucking
triple dick?
Yeah, triple dick. Triple dick. Let me get back to this. J-Lo, $50 fucking super chat. You're unbelievable. You're really unbelievable. And you know, J-Lo's got to get a jersey now too. But I don't. But I got 2 Phillies left before my next order. 2 Philadelphia Phillies. Jimmy's one of my favorites on A2D, Tom. I didn't even finish reading it.
Oh, sorry.
I know you're good.
I'm going back. Here it is.
I love our fans, but we have to be more compassionate. This is why big names don't want to come here to the Sixers.
Oh, J-Love, don't do the Sixers thing.
You got 9 minutes left.
I can't get into Ben Simmons today.
Stop. We can't do this. Like,
no, don't say Westbrook either, Jimmy, because this show won't stop. This show won't end.
Hey, love, you know what? You're not wrong. Okay?
No.
But the minority never speaks for the majority.
Yes.
Right? And that's another reason why I built this shit. Okay? It's another reason. Right? Because we want to be the majority of some fucking common sense to people. Right? To bring back real fucking sports talk by fans, not people that are fucking from New York and are fucking converted fans, right? They get jobs here. No. Change it back to the people. And here we are. Umberto, grateful for you. Send us a DM on any of our social platforms with your address, and let me get you that Jalen out ASAP. And do the same thing. Keys. I think I have a blue Harper red. I don't know exactly who it is, but it's going to you, Keys. So also, Keys, send us your address, and then that's how I'm doing. That's how I'm doing my next 2 wheels before. And J Love, send your address as well, so I can send you other Phillies, and then we'll do the wheel. Then we'll go back to the wheel because I got to order more because I got a little excited on Christmas and I gave out all the bunch I ordered as presents. I was like, I have to order more. Yeah, fuck it.
Don, this is why Detroit doesn't have good things, because of this comment right here. What if Jalen Hurts and Minshew is injured, but the Eagles put Greg Ward for the quarterback and he throws 3 touchdowns and beats the Bucs?
I'm streaking.
Pass, hit, pass, hit and pass. 2 hits and pass. That's what
Jimmy, is this your burner? Is this your burner, Jimmy?
No, that's not my burner. But I would take Westbrook for Ben. Right now. It's better than having nothing right now.
No, nothing is better. Nothing is better, I think.
Well, you know what'd be better? More goddamn members, right?
That's true.
For $9.99 a month, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's an easy way for you guys to support us and also support you by putting money in your bank accounts, by winning you money and giving you jerseys. So, do it if you want to do it. It's right in the comments. I don't know, I don't know why you want it. All these other people charging an arm and a leg for picks. You know what I mean? Arm and leg.
J-Love, do you follow us on IG? If you don't, you should be, as well as everybody. Just DM us on IG or Facebook.
Yeah. Or Twitter.
Yes.
So you have options.
Yes. We have flexibility.
Yeah. Oh, I can get you a blue one. Blue wheeler. Zach Wheeler.
That'd be different.
I'm a member. And I'll get one out to you. How about that?
Did you say you've got a Spectrum Maxi there?
I know. I gave it to my brother-in-law. It's fucking sick, and he's a big Sixers guy.
I was gonna say, if you've got that, you might find me in the friggin' backyard trying to get in that studio.
I'm gonna get more of them though. I'm gonna get more of the Spectrum look because they're fucking sick. They're sick. They really are.
Oh my god! Look at Umberto. Look at shake shots to Molly. Poor Molly. Jesus Christ. Molly, we didn't do it, Molly. I don't disagree with him, but damn it.
Listen, love Molly. She's been through a lot. What are they? Yeah, a lot of dick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Are you? Are you?
I don't know.
Stephen A might not disagree.
He's trying.
He put her on the top 5 list for a reason.
Fuck you, Don. You're gonna come out with. Oh, I thought you said the Black Saints. I almost was gonna kill him. Like the Black Saints.
No, don't say that tonight. We need them to lose, Don.
You knock it off. I'm gonna come get my Pip. I'm gonna come get my Embiid jersey back from you. There's a lot of balls on the chin talk tonight. A lot. I'm gonna have to get Jimmy as my number 1 wide receiver clip out there later on. I'm sure that will do well.
Oh god.
People who missed it. But no, listen, love Jimmy's sports takes and even love Ev because Ev is the opposite. Like, and opposites attract with those two, but he's the opposite. This is why they do a great show. That's why it's a great show on Monday nights, the Flight Zone. Not on the night. Jimmy's on with us. Ev under the weather.
Evan wakes up and the world's ending.
Oh, yeah. Doom and gloom. It's always, listen, It's always dark outside. You know what I mean? Guys living in Alaska.
That's why he's always on the COVID list.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Stop. I didn't want to say it 5 times. You know what I mean? I think the guy fucking. I mean, chefs are getting tired of fucking calling his name out. Tired of tweeting about him.
I'm surprised you didn't blame Slay for it, Jimmy. See, if Slay was a playmaker, I wouldn't have got it.
He's so bad there. I gotta remind Ryan at times in there how hard we were on Slay, but nothing to his.
He's so bad so bad in there. I side with Chucks.
Yeah,
that's how bad he is in there. I don't do that.
Guy can have fucking 3 pick sixes. He gets burnt once in that same game where he has 3 pick sixes, and Evan's like, "This is why I shouldn't be getting paid this money."
Mike Glennon completes a 5-yard pass. Oh, just fire everybody. Just the season's over.
Post your stats again.
Yeah. Big play, Jimmy. It's fine. It's fine. We're up by 30. It's okay.
Guys, this is why I got so passionate about Carson Wentz and Ben Simmons, because I had to hear that for 6 years now, and I had to hear that after the torn ACL season every single day at school. That coming out of Evan's mouth every single day, and I think it's Evan's fault. The way I am is because of Evan. It's not even. Not even a debate.
Mr. Wing?
Fair. Mr. Wing. Appreciate you, my man. We all do here. We really do. I mean, we can't. The super chats are amazing when you guys do this. This is my Flight Zone donation. Wentz.
Copium.
He's going to need more than that. More than that. He's going to need a couple 300-yard games out of Hurts and some balls. I'll tell you one thing. We're going to get out of here in a minute, right? Literally 1 minute. We get to do the reads, but that ball to Reagor yesterday is the kind of ball I need to continue to see.
Yes.
All right. That ball was thrown on time. That ball was on a rope, and obviously a good catch from your former first round pick.
And it was thrown to the left side of the football field, which was
true.
Amazing.
Even better.
Listen, love all you guys. Great show, boys. Got the Sports Hounds coming up here at 7:30. Rob Brinkman, Brad Ryder. Go soak in Rob, because Rob's telling you it's successful no matter what. So it's hand jobs and blow jobs.
He's happy, Rob, today.
For the Brinkman. I love Brinky. Go enjoy him. He was at the game yesterday, so he's probably still recovering.
Surprised he didn't run on the field in the first half.
We are brought to you by FanUp. And FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value. Go find them right on the Apple Store. FanUp is where you can find them. Win great prizes. And make sure, sign up today, people. Today. Go enjoy them. Boys, close. You got 10 seconds each before we roll out of here.
I see these comments in the chat. I'm just going to leave them in the chat.
Leave them there.
A lot of aggressiveness.
Go Birds. I hope Jalen succeeds, because that only makes our future as Eagles fans with less anxiety. So
look at Keys. Fucking $10. $10 says, look at him. Total full circle. Went 6 in QBR in the NFL. Huh? Look at you. Look at you.
Keys, we have to get off. We can't keep debating about Wentz. I'll be here all night.
You're unbelievable, and we love you. You would be here all night. You might just want to carry it in. Just like stay for the Sports Sounds. Okay, real quick, because we're not affecting Twitter, because it doesn't fucking matter anymore until they fix their life. And something big though we do have coming to Twitch is we got things are in the work for A2D Gaming. All right, things are in the work. I've been working. All right, and I got a couple guys in the works for some Twitch stuff. So big things coming over on Twitch side, but. Do we win Sunday?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm saying 27-13, Birds.
I say 27-20. All right, fine. 28-20.
Probably gonna lose. Oh my God. Probably gonna lose 24-23.
Look at Frank covered in with his shots.
Oh my God. No, Ralph isn't, Frank. At least not that I know of.
Talk to your boy, Frank.
We've been asked you 5 times. No, maybe a guy you've seen on A2D do gaming. Well, 2 guys that you've seen on A2D do gaming.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Two, because Manny does Right now he's in Facebook jail, but he does. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But he does a show every Thursday night. No, Friday night. Sorry. Every Friday night, a Madden show, and then Kep used to do Kep's Corner here.
Yeah.
They both want to get into the HUD Twitch, and help us grow over there on the gaming side. We don't even need to stream shows over on Twitch. It's almost a waste of Twitch. It's a waste of Twitch. You know what I mean? To our Twitch people, we're sorry. You gotta grow Twitch by gaming. I don't know how many people are on Twitch to watch live shows like this. You know what I mean?
Could I just say this? If we lose to a two-system quarterback ran by Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke, I will retire as a sports fan.
I agree.
There's no reason why we should lose this game. I don't think we should be worried. I won't say worried at all, but I don't think we should be worried. I don't think we should be panicking.
I'm worried.
Are you panicking?
No, I don't. I got a young head coach, right? I got a young quarterback, right? And at times you get worried sometimes in these spots. We can't overlook, right? It's important to not overlook, and I don't think they will. And I really do have the Eagles winning 34-17.
What's the panic meter at, Tom? Which I put you down for?
Listen, for right now, put me to 2. But by Wednesday, that could jump up big time. Because if the chat starts getting out of hand, like everybody's got us fucking blowing out and stuff, I'm going to feel like that Giants game.
Jimmy, panic meter?
Give me 1 out of 10.
Okay. I'll go out of 3.
Frankie, they can go live, Frankie. See you in here. Like chatting. They can go live. We'll go a couple minutes here. We'll go a couple minutes and get out of here because we didn't talk about this game. Evan only had a 4. Breaking news. Evan only had a fucking 4. I would expect Evan to at least be a 5.5 nug. Right? 5.5 piece nugget, fucking McDonald's. But like you only got a half a nugget and you wonder why it was chewed. Like that's where I feel like he would be.
J Love's got a 6. Really, Jay?
Jay, slow starts were only for 2 weeks, though, Jay, right? I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Have they been longer than that? And I'm just not caught on to it. Like I know the Giants was slow in a way, but not really. And the Jets was maybe slow defensively, but not offensively. So have they you know what I mean? Have these slow starts been that egregious?
I don't feel like it is. Like I got a text. That's why I asked you guys earlier. Like I got a text last night from 2 people being like, these slow starts in the last 2 games are very concerning. And I'm like, well, are they? Like, yeah, I don't love it and I don't enjoy it, but like if we were judging teams based off of like first half performances, the Falcons would have a Super Bowl. And they don't. You know what I mean? Like it's about 2 halves. And like I heard Barrett Brooks say on the post game yesterday, he was like, can we just flip these 2 halves? Like, no, I don't want to flip the halves because that means we're having horrible second halves. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to score 3 points in second halves. Can we have like a little bit of both? Can we meet in the middle, please?
Well, when the good head coaches make adjustments at halftime, they fix their problems. Good teams, good players, right? Good guys who want to get better. I mean, they fix their problems. So listen, is it ideal getting off the slow starts? No. But like hopefully this defense can continue. J-Love, I hear you. This is the type of games we lose. But I think we got to change that mindset. Right? I said it in their Super Bowl year run. We got to change our mindset of how we operate here. Not in terms of being critical, in terms of like expectations for stuff, right? So no, we should be going down there believing our football team is better and goes and takes care of business and doesn't you know what I mean? Doesn't trip over their own feet in a game they should go down and win. And this team has played well on the road, J Love, which we don't talk about a lot. So this team has been a good road team this year. The Giants game's that only blunder on the road to me for them. It's the only blunder. They played really well on the road. Their issues were at home.
I hear you, Tom. But I feel like this weird feeling of a game, this already happened against the Giants. I don't think we could do this twice in a month, especially the month of December where we usually play good football.
So you believe in Jalen Hurts?
I believe in the offensive scheme, and I believe in our defense going after a Kyle Allen or Tyler Heineke.
I just had to say that. I just felt
Real quick before we sign off, we actually have another big injury news out of the West Coast. I don't know what's going on in California right now. Rams are placing Darrell Henderson on the IR, and he's going to miss up to 5 weeks because of a knee injury. Cam Akers still has a chance to play this week, but he was not planned to play until the postseason. That's why I took him off that list. He wasn't supposed to play this in the regular season. So
I thought he was done for the season.
Cam?
He sort of is. They just put him on that list. They just put him on that list
just in case they go deep in the playoffs.
Well, no, because it's like something in his pension where it's a classy move what the Rams did. That's all I know. Like you can go read it. So they did like a class move for Cam Akers, so he might not even play. But they're in a good shape because Sonny Michel's came back and has been healthy and has been very good for them. So they're in a good position because they're just falling in the shit. Right, like whatever three of them, all three are good running backs.
Mm-hmm. And this could have helped me drastically with my fantasy football because I held on to Sonny Michel all fucking year in my 14-man league, and I got eliminated. And it would have been nice if he was the starter all year. But
you know what would have been nice? You know what would be nice tonight? Jalen Waddle gives me 32 fantasy points, and we laugh at that, but it's
possible.
Anything's possible. Yeah. I was first place in the league. I dealt with Cook injuries, McCaffrey injuries all year fucking long. Still out on first place in my big money league. And I got like 130 points this week, and I'm fucking going to fucking lose because this guy goes off. Because Dak doesn't want to stop fucking throwing last night.
It would be typical of Tua and the Dolphins that we've been rooting for them to lose pretty much every week this season. The 1 week where we want them to win, they lay an egg. Now, I don't think that's going to happen because Ian Book is the quarterback there, and I forgot Ian Book existed until this coming week or this week tonight. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, Tom, the 35 points from Waddle, that means Dolphins are doing pretty well, so I'll support that. I'll definitely support that.
Praying to a couple house calls. But
Don, I'll just throw my biggest loser is whenever Matt Rule speaks. I've never done a complete 180 like I have on that guy. Shame on me. That guy's a friggin'. Oh, it's gonna take 7 years, just like Jay-Z. Dude.
Yeah, he was my crumb at a week last night.
Was he?
Yeah. What are you talking about? 7 years. Half your players are gonna be fucking retired. What are you talking about? Find a quarterback talking to me about 7 fucking years.
College coaches.
Yeah, they got this fucking, and I like Matt, but it's a dumb comment. You're trying to be funny after your quarterback throws for 50 fucking yards. Knock it off.
And he fired the offensive coordinator who's actually smarter than him. Like, oh yeah, blame the offensive coordinator because your quarterback stink.
Yeah, blame the offensive coordinator for Sam Darnold stinking, which is well documented. And this is why I didn't believe in the Carolina Panthers this year because Sam Darnold stinks. The real Sam Darnold will stand up. All right?
And McCaffrey can't stay healthy anymore. Even if
he was, they're still not good enough because Darnold will hurt you. He will find ways to hurt you and see ghosts. Once a guy tells me he sees ghosts in the NFL, I'm done with him. You're cut that night.
You watch. He'll be our backup next year. You watch.
You know what I mean? I'm cutting you that night. My biggest loser is, it was yesterday, is the Chargers. I mean, that's a joke.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Cost me a lot of money. But yeah, my biggest winner is the Bills going into Gillette Stadium, taking down the big bad Empire. Huge win for them, and now they're first place in the East again. I still think the Patriots bounce back. They will get a wild card spot, possibly win a playoff game, but I don't think they're going to be going to the Super Bowl like people were talking 3 weeks ago. So, big win for the Bills.
My winner. I'll say my biggest winner. I'll go Chiefs just because from where we were like 6 weeks ago to where they looked like they were, pedestrian. They were just a mediocre team. Now they look like they're back to being like the superior team in their conference. Like them and the Bills. But even the Bills have been inconsistent all year.
That's a big statement win. I mean, the last one they had, they didn't get right after it. And that was Kansas City, the game. That was their Super Bowl. They didn't get right. Need to go up there, must-win game. They got ball pound down their throat for like 5 straight weeks. So, they're definitely a winner yesterday.
Yeah,
definitely a winner. Forget who I freaking. We're obviously a winner, but the other winner, to me, is real quick is the Colts. It's another big win. go down to Arizona, find a way to win a football game. And they're playing extremely good football right now too. So
yeah. And my one loser, everything about the Giants organization, including their fans. They always, whenever they play us in the recent years, whenever they win, it's like they win the fucking Super Bowl. They're celebrating like it's 1991. And then whenever they lose a game against us, it's just crickets all the way. And then I don't hear from them until it's Eagles Giants week again. And then they're throwing in hints of, oh, maybe we'll win this game. And then when they don't, it's crickets. If they do, they're bashing us for only having one Super Bowl. So everything about them is just scum. I hate the Giants. I think I hate them as much as I hate the Cowboys. But
I definitely do. I'm right there with you.
Maybe more at times too.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think I hate them more than I hate the Cowboys. Because at least the Cowboys we could have fun with. I never have any fun with the Giants. Even when we win, I don't have fun with the Giants because I want to hear them talk. At least the Cowboys still talk when we beat them. The Giants fans don't talk.
No.
There's only one organization and fan base that I hate more than the Giants, and it's the Boston Celtics. That's it.
Yeah. So
I agree. Boys, great show. Fun.
Yes, sir.
Guys, head on over on all your A2D platforms to the Sports Hounds live right now. Their poll question for tonight, they try to go like more of a national feel at you, is the Miami Dolphins will make the playoffs. Agree or disagree? So I'll answer that. Give me a quick rapid fire. Agree or disagree?
Jimmy?
I agree. And boys, thank you for having me on tonight. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah,
yep.
always.
And I agree. They will get that last spot.
Because we own their draft pick, of course they will. Yes.
Good. And then I'll be the disagree guy just for funsies.
Sweeps is going to text you now.
Well, I mean, they got a million. They get a million teams. They're all condensed together. So it was impossible to predict the AFC. It's a mess. It's a mess. Guys out there in the chat, you're the fucking best. We love you. You drive us. You keep us coming on. Turn your damn alerts on. Hit the subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like on this video and the Sports Hounds if you haven't. And I say it all the time, 15 live shows on this platform overall. And more coming, right? You're going to have Marcus Thomas, former Eagles running back, starting after the new year every Thursday night before Birds of a Feather. Pro fan talk. So he's going to have former Eagles on with him. He's going to have a lot of different players on with him. So it's going to be exciting. Listen, if you build it, they will come. And you guys came. So tell a friend to tell a motherfucking friend. For Ryan, Jimmy, I'm Tom. We love you. We thank FanUp for bringing Monday Morning Quarterback to you every goddamn Monday. And they're the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Daily NFL contest, NBA and NFL flex contest. They got it all. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. Go download FanUp in the Apple Store. Make sure you're using our promo code at Manscaped and get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D. Go get the lawnmower, the weed whacker. Clean your fucking life up, all right? Clean your goddamn life up or clean your buddy's life up. Tell him you got to get it right. The guy comes over, he's fucking smelly. You get a little ball deodorant for a guy, all right? Good New Year's resolution. Clean your lives up. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Fucking got Sixers tomorrow night. After Christmas, 1-0. Right? 1-0. It's when the season starts. Here we are. Here we are, boys. So Sixers tomorrow night. I think they got back-to-back. They may play Wednesday, too.
Yay.
They just deliver me constant pain, but I'll watch them.
I'm here to get hurt. We're